The 2025 Fantasy Football Awards are brought to you by the Rewatchables, the podcast that inspired this episode that we've done. I believe this is now the 5th year we're doing this. The Rewatchables is a show I produce, hosted by Bill Simmons, covers movies, the most rewatchable movies. Actually, right now, I don't know if you guys have listened to this yet, but on Monday night, we put up Bill's 50 most rewatchable movies of the 21st century. Did you guys see that?
I saw the Sicario clip.
I saw the clip of Chris Ryan freaking
Number
out.
41, Chris put Sicario. Bill put Sicario.
So funny.
It's a great listen. Just like a really fun 90 minutes. I won't spoil what Bill's top 5 movies are. But go check that out. Every year I kind of put together the list. I did this on the last episode. I thought it was fun last year. I put together my favorite movies of the year in the Rewatchables. We did 49 new movies this year. I had not seen a large chunk of them. I'm curious which ones you guys have seen. So here are my favorite 7 movies from this year on the Rewatchables that I had not seen before. The Sure Thing, Rob Reiner movie from 1985. Loved that movie. Working Girl from 1988 with Harrison Ford. Shampoo, great. We had Cameron Crowe on that Rewatchables. Rollerball, banged. We did that with Brian Koppelman. It's from 1975. Before Sunrise and Sunset, both those. Richard Linklater movies. And then Blue Chips, 1995.
Blue Chips?
Yeah, fucking love
nice.
Blue Chips.
I will say, I thought I was going to go shut out there. I was 0 for the first 6
I'm 0 for
in terms
7.
of having watched them. Blue Chips is a classic, though, man.
0 for 7, but I do intend to watch before Sunset and after Sunset.
Yeah,
but the other ones I've never heard of.
Those movies are the best romance movies I've ever seen. Heifetz, I was texting your fiance about Lobby Seafray, and if you think those movies or those songs are romantic and put you in a headspace, you should watch Before Sunrise and Sunset.
Isn't it just Ethan Hawke walking around with someone until Prague for like 6 hours?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's great.
So good.
Idea. Lobby Seafray was a good rec.
Blue Chips is so different than those other ones.
Dude, Sure Thing's great. And then the most insane movie of the year is Species from 1995.
Oh, yeah.
If you have 100 minutes to spare.
Oh, yeah.
Watch that film. I bet you know about that movie, you sick fuck. Okay. Anyway, thank you to the Rewatchables, and check out Bill's top 50 most rewatchable movies of the year of the century list. And we're going to get to our fantasy football awards for 2025. But first, we're going to take a quick break.
This episode is presented by Chime. Bank smarter this season. Fantasy football is all about strategy. Well, here's a winning strategy for your money. Trade banking fees for fee-free banking, 1.5% cash back, getting paid when you say, and a higher APY on your savings. That's a lineup that wins. Stop banking the old way. Bank smarter through Chime. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and the secured Chime Visa credit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. Details at chime.com/fees. Info. With a qualifying direct deposit, earn 1.5% cash back on eligible secured Chime Visa credit card purchases. APY means annual percentage yield. Learn more at chime.com.
Welcome to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. My name is Craig Horlbeck, and I am joined by Danny Kelly and Danny Heifetz. And today, we are doing the 2025 Fantasy Football Awards. We're going to jump right into it. It was a long, arduous fantasy season. I don't want to talk about what happened in the Ringer Fantasy Football League, but let's just say I had my last matcha latte this morning for a week.
Yeah, how's the mood? How are you feeling?
Right now I'm buzzing.
You're on edge.
Matcha latte.
You're going to just get so much caffeine in today.
Yeah, I'm going to overload for the week. All right, so we're going to get to, we have a bunch of fun categories. Some are inspired from the Rewatchables. A lot of them we came up with on our own over the years. We're going to recap the entire NFL and fantasy football season in one fell swoop. So we're going to start off big. We're going to do it like the Oscars. Like they start out with like best supporting actor, best supporting actress, just to get people, hooked. We're just going to go with the biggest one first. We're going to start with the fantasy MVP. So I think we actually all might have different answers. So I'll start. DK, who do you think is the fantasy MVP this year?
So I think it's actually Christian McCaffrey, but I want to first acknowledge Puka Nacua. because
okay.
he was absolutely electric. I feel like he got overshadowed somewhat by JSN throughout the whole season because JSN was on pace to set that record for a long time. He was doing incredible things. He kind of had come out of nowhere. But Puka ended up being the wide receiver 1 on the season in both total points and points per game. He averaged 19.3 points per game in half PPR. Basically 0 duds all year, other than one game where he got hurt and left early. Basically every other game he had double-digit points. He was just the foundation of your team. I think if you had him on your team, you're probably in the top 3. All my teams with Puka did really well this year. He ended up with 119 in this, not even, there's one game left, but in the fantasy season, 119 catches, almost 1,700 yards, 9 touchdowns, also added a rushing touchdown. He also did extraordinarily well in the early part of the playoffs. So he got 23 half PPR points in the first round, propelled you to the semis. He had 41 points in the semifinals. And so obviously if you had Puka, you're probably in the finals. He did fine in the last game. Not like you probably had to have other guys carry you in your championship game, but I think overall, man, Puka was just rock solid start to finish. Stafford has an incredible connection with him. And he was just one of the most, if not the most valuable player in fantasy.
It's a bummer that catch from Monday night didn't count,
gosh,
because that would have been quite the cherry on top of a ridiculous season. I mean, my God, the Falcons beat the Rams in that game, but there was a crazy comeback that the Rams almost put together. Dude, that pass to Puka that he almost caught, those are either the stickiest gloves I've ever seen in my life, or Puka might be really rising up the ranks in terms of just like the most ridiculous wide receivers I've ever seen.
I don't think I've ever seen a catch like that.
No.
It didn't look physically possible the way that the ball kind of suspended in the air. I don't understand exactly how that happened.
I couldn't believe how quickly Puka had possession of that ball. Like the fact that he didn't actually drop it, that AJ Terrell actually pulled his arm and actually ripped it away. Like Puka had possession instantly. Like I've never seen a ball travel as far, and then he basically hit half of his hand, and that was, I don't know. Honestly, it's too bad that didn't count. I think I don't want to step on best play of the year, but I think 2 of the best plays of the entire season were then upon review not actually counting. But that would have been right there with anything.
Well, they showed speaking of that Puka catch, they showed the same angle like 3 or 4 times in a row. Everyone on the timeline was like, "Oh, that's a catch." He freaking caught that.
This is your idea. How many camera angles are
well, you get all the angles, but only 3 times. So unfortunately, this one does count. I think this is one of those where there should be
that was a catch. Come
spiritually a catch.
We should get 5 plays a year where we're like, catch. But that was cool though, and we just get to keep it.
Just felt like a catch. Then they showed the second angle, and it clearly kind of came out of his hands. Again, it just suspended in air. It wasn't like he lost it. It sort of was just like he was readjusting it or something.
But here's the thing with Puka, and I think why if we go into next year, and it's funny, I don't know who the MVP is. We can argue about it, but at each position, it's so obvious. It's Drake May at quarterback because of where you took him. It's Christian McCaffrey at running back. It's Trey McBride at tight end, and it's Puka at receiver. And you could argue Smith and Jig, but I think the reason Puka Nacua, maybe he's the first receiver taken next year. When you watch the Rams play, Puka feels inevitable, especially with Devontae Adams out, because the fact 2 different games this year. One, Puka had the most amazing play, a catch ever with the game on the line. Week 13, it was amazing. This Monday Night Football was, but also the amount of times that Puka Nacua gets a touchdown, it's called back for holding, and they're like, screw it, he gets a touchdown again on the same drive. Like I think he's the number 1 player you don't want to certainly the number 1 receiver, and replacing Jamar Chase as the guy you don't want going against you on Monday Night Football.
Yes.
There's something
100%.
about Puka that feels a little different. Like, you know how like when you're playing pickup basketball or something, there's the guy, kind of like Heifetz, who is like, I'm going to make up for what I lack in talent with effort.
Yeah.
And Puka is like that, but he's also a 10 out of 10 talent.
Yeah.
It's like, it feels like Heifetz would, he would agree with that. That's like how he describes his game. He's in your shorts.
Yeah.
I always said I'm Patrick Beverly and Glenn Davis's bottom. That's my pickup.
I feel like Puka tries harder than every other NFL player. You know what I mean? And he combines that with his ridiculous talent. Like that catch, I feel like he was like, I will sell my body to make any catch to win this game. And it just feels different than any other wide receiver. I don't know. I can't explain.
Yeah. I totally agree with that, Craig. He's just out there. I don't know. Like, he is just actually a maniac. And that is kind of a double-edged sword at times. And it has been in the previous seasons because of the injury situation. Like he peels himself off. He only missed 1 game this year. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be very interesting to see where he goes. It's also going to be very interesting to see if Stafford is back. I think Stafford after this year, regardless of what happens in the playoffs, he's got to come back, right? Like, do you think he's
back
going
or
to
because of
retire?
his back?
Right.
No one's ever won an MVP. He's not going to win the MVP, but no one's ever won an MVP and retired, right?
I don't think so.
I can't imagine that.
I'd look at maybe Jim Brown, but I don't think so.
But yeah, so I think he has a chance to be, one of the first picks overall. And
Jim Brown. Wow, I'm not gonna like that. I gotta give myself
nice
credit.
pull.
That was an incredible
Did he
pull.
do that?
Nice
He
pull.
did. He won MVP in 1965. That's the best pull I've ever had. Yes, it's Jim Brown did it.
That's really impressive.
I also think Stafford was one of the best values. Just kind of lump these two guys together.
Sure.
Stafford was an afterthought in drafts. Like, you probably, if you're in a 1 QB league, you definitely just picked him off waivers. If you're in a 2 QB league, he was down there. Like, you could have gotten him really, really late in the draft, and he ended up being the QB 5, basically up there with all the elite guys. 20 points per game, better than Hurts, better than Lamar. I mean, Stafford was freaking amazing this year too.
Yeah, we always kind of say that there's usually one pocket passer every year that breaks through. It was like Baker the year before that, Dak the year before that, and it's always impossible to find them. But I agree. I mean, Stafford was going lower than most of those quarterbacks that like Dak or even Baker were. I mean, Stafford was like the QB 25. Nobody was thinking about him.
Bill took him in our draft.
Well, he took
And then
everyone.
cut him, and then Mal got him, and Mal won the goddamn league because Puka. Mal won the league because Bill cut Stafford, and then she combined Stafford with Puka and stacked them.
Bill also cut Travion Henderson.
Yes, and then he ended up at Mal's team too because they traded him to her. Anyway, it's infuriating. But the psycho thing, Stafford's a psycho too with Payne. He plays through injuries. And then I think the running back, Christian McCaffrey, I think he's kind of like that too. Like, that's what all they have in common. McCaffrey, I don't think gets put in the same conversation of like, oh, he's a maniac. He doesn't leave the field. And I got to tell you, you could argue whether McCaffrey's the MVP because, well, he's a first rounder. Other guys went later. But
I want to make the case for McCaffrey.
Please.
I think he is my fantasy MVP. In terms of risk, reward, expectations, outcome, the stress, what he delivered, all of that, it has to be Christian McCaffrey. He finished the year as the RB1 in both total points and points per game.
Mm-hmm.
This is now his third season as the overall RB1.
Has anyone ever done that? Probably
Jim Brown.
LaDainian. Jim Brown. Yeah.
Jim Brown probably did it. Dude, I feel like we all look back on the 2023 Niners season with McCaffrey, and like that is kind of that sits above the rest. That was this kind of magical season. He scored one less point this year than that year, and
that's wild.
It's it's the single biggest fantasy exhale in recent memory. This man had bilateral Achilles tendonitis.
Whatever that
basically didn't play in 2024. Came back.
Got hurt.
Drafted him in the first round. And then, yes, we forget the Thursday episode, week 1, the opening game. We recorded after that opening game, Dallas, Philly. And that day, there was a report that came out that McCaffrey missed practice with a fucking calf injury.
I spent 6 months telling everyone, don't worry about McCaffrey's health. Stop worrying.
Do you think they did that just to troll everyone? He played like 90% of the snaps.
Maybe he had a cramp and they were very cautious. But I mean, just adding that panic in, he's 29 years old, and then he ends up, after all that, he's at 399 touches. His career high is 403. He's going to break that this year. His career high in touches.
He had almost 1,000 yards rushing and receiving.
He's going to play all 17 games. And like you mentioned earlier with Puka, DK, he didn't screw you in the fantasy playoffs, which I think is a huge part of this.
I do
like
too,
Jahmyr Gibbs, who was great this year, killed you in the playoffs. McCaffrey was the RB4 in the fantasy playoffs. He averaged 23 fantasy points per game, which was better than his season-long average. So he got better in the final 3 weeks of the season. He had 29 in the fantasy championship. So although you had to draft him in the first round, I think like the stress and pain and fear of having him and then it paying off and him playing every game was the most gratifying feeling in fantasy.
Agree. You went out on a limb to take him and it fucking paid off.
We said McCaffrey would be the number 1 running back every week he played, and he played every game.
Fucking crazy.
The funny thing is, like, did he look that good this year?
No.
Like, he was. I mean,
he did not look the same.
Relative to normal McCaffrey, I think he was not the same guy, but the volume was incredible. He's obviously still a very good player.
I think he looks like if he was a 10 out of 10 on like the talent freak scale, I think he's now a 9. Like to me, he looks a little slower. He looks a little bigger. He does not look as shifty. He was way more involved in the passing game. And I feel that's what really brought him to this level. To me, when he was running the ball, I do not think he is in the category of like Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs at all.
I think it's the same thing to me as like Saquon, where is Saquon a worse player than he was 9 months ago, or is the offensive line worse? I just think the Niners offensive line is just a worse product, and the injuries along the O-line. I don't think McCaffrey's worse. I think that he just wasn't able to get to the second level for an entire season. But yeah, there was, absolutely, there's fewer big plays. I don't think he had a rush over 18, 20 yards until this week. But
he just, to me, looks not quite the same. He's 29 years old. He's coming off a year of not really playing. I think
he's fresh.
400 touches.
Sure.
But I, you know what? I've gotten a lot of shit wrong, but I have to tell you, I was a big sigh of relief that he got freaking played.
Well, yeah, you were fucking ready to jump off a cliff that Thursday. You're like, this ruined my year already.
Literally, the moment, like, as soon as everyone's finished their drafts, then they're like, by the way, today he heard it. Like, as literally, he hasn't played. There's a 2-day window where nobody's played any games, but everyone's done their drafts anyway.
Is he your fantasy MVP, or you want to make the case for something else?
I think yes for McCaffrey. If you want to do the whole thing of, if you actually, ESPN sometimes publishes a list of like who actually led to the most championship teams. I think the only person I would say, I think you can make an argument for Trey McBride, because for one simple reason. I mean this without exaggeration. The only tight end you could have drafted and then just played every week and never changed your lineup, and you would have been great, as Trey McBride. Like, just to tick down the other tight ends this year that you could have taken just in order that they were drafted. Brock Bowers killed you for 2 months. George Kittle was good, but played like 10 games. Sam Laporta missed the final 2 months of the season. Travis Kelce actually ended up as a top 3 tight end this year, even though he's going to retire because he's so washed. TJ Hawkinson was unplayable.
God.
I know, that's the thing. And so going total points, he played.
I don't think I realized that.
But I'm just going down in the list of the order these guys were drafted on average. TJ Hawkinson, unplayable. Mark Andrews, unplayable. Evan Engram, unrosterable. Tyler Warren was really good, and then like pretty bad after week 10.
Fell off, man. I don't think he didn't have double-digit points since week
10.
Yeah.
Did not have double-digit points after week 10.
Months.
David Njoku was unrosterable. Tucker Kraft was awesome, but he only played half a season. Colston Loveland killed you for the first 3 months. Dalton Kincaid had like 2 good games after week 5. Jake Ferguson was awesome, but he cratered after CeeDee Lamb came back. Like week 8 on, Jake Ferguson did nothing for you. Dallas Goedert was frankly the only other tight end you could have drafted and then played all year, because he just played, and he ended up being a top 6 tight end out of sheer volume, but he was literally not a top 32 tight end in the month of November. And then Kyle Pitts, who through 12 weeks was the number 3 tight end in the league, you probably didn't stick with long enough to necessarily get you the playoffs. So yeah, I just want to shout out Trey McBride, because the gap between him and the number 2 tight end is the same as the gap between the number 2 tight end and like the 23 tight end.
Well, you know what's funny about that? I had that exact stat. You know who is the number 2 tight end on the season? Do you know? Total points.
2 or 22?
2. Do you know who's the number 2 tight end in fantasy football this year?
I do, because I looked up 2 tight ends who outscored Kyle Pitts in a lie, and there were not 2 tight ends.
DK, it's Kyle Pitts.
He's the number 2 tight end?
That's correct.
There were not 2 tight ends who outscored Kyle Pitts.
Oh my
this year.
Lord.
We have to retire this segment.
What?
Yes. I mean, look, it's still the stat hyphens aligned. I have the exact thing here. So it's just to show you how dominant Trey McBride was. Kyle Pitts, the tight end 2, was closer to Cade Otton, the tight end 30, than he was to Trey McBride, the tight end 1.
Yeah.
And what that means, tight end more than any other position, there's like tiers of scoring, where the truth is sometimes we rely too much as a shorthand. The number 9 tight end, the number 14, but Scott Barrett at Fantasy Points does a great job pointing this out. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Tight end 9, 14. If the difference is 8 points a game and 7.3, it doesn't matter, which is obvious if you look at the scores of your matchup.
Like, you've already lost.
You've already lost. It's like the difference is between tight end 10 and tight end 20 is like 1 point a game. The difference between McBride's in his own tier. It's like how Kelce used to be, where he's getting 16, 17 points a game. And then the next group is tight end 2 is getting like 12.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the argument for McBride, is if you just took him, you're so much better off than anyone else did.
I think that's a good case. I think because of the lack of importance of tight end in general, and just honestly, like spiritually, narratively, it feels like what McCaffrey did this year was just more impressive. And that is the thing that when you talk to your friends about the fantasy season, I think McCaffrey is the first conversation you have in terms of somebody who delivered for you. He's
what DK always says about Tom Brady. McCaffrey's the fantasy version where when you have him, he's like Alexander the Great. You feel like you can't die.
Yeah.
Because he's playing for you.
And I think he feels like he can't die either.
I don't think I can die.
It's like Puka.
The other guy that I would throw out here, and there's a scientific case for this, I think, is not scientific, but statistical.
I was interested in that.
Is Bijan Robinson. I saw this from Yahoo, actually. In Yahoo leagues, the player most common on winning championship teams in their public leagues was Bijan Robinson. And part of that, I think, is obviously, so he was the running back 3. He averaged over 20 points per game in half PPR.
Probably won a lot of people their fantasy championship.
That's
because
the
of Monday
thing
night.
is he went off as in the fantasy championships. I think he scored 37 points last night. And he delivered championships to a lot of teams. Not necessarily like, he wasn't up there in terms of total points with Christian McCaffrey, blah, blah, blah. Like he actually was behind Jonathan Taylor in points per game too. But man, he came through in the clutch for you when you really needed it. So he was the number 1 player overall in terms of on most championship teams, according to Yahoo.
Yeah. I would also like to shout out briefly. We mentioned about how important fantasy playoffs are. There were 2 guys this year who were historically good in the fantasy playoffs, and it was Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy. I saw this stat a couple different places. Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy had the 2 best fantasy playoff runs by a quarterback in the modern era.
Wow.
Trevor Lawrence had 98 points in 3 weeks, and Brock Purdy had 94 points over 3 weeks.
You said both of them are 1-2?
Both of them are 1-2.
For the most quarterback points in week 16, 17, or the 15, 16, 17 combined?
Correct. Is that not insane?
That's crazy. Brock Purdy helped me kick ass in my 9th place game.
Brock Purdy finished the season as the QB2 in points per game.
Points per game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, it's so funny because we're going to talk about, I think this is all going to lead to so much apathy for us next season it just reminds me, like I was in group text, obviously it's like the group text kind of has one final pop off right when the winner is announced. And I asked a couple different texts this and everyone said the same thing. I said, in any leagues you're in, did the number 1 or number 2 seed win any of your leagues? And everyone's like, no.
Yeah.
And I think Lawrence and Purdy is an example why, where Purdy, like people who were playing these guys at the end were not good in the middle of the season. And then suddenly you have like Trevor Lawrence and Ashton Genty, or Trevor Lawrence and Derrick Henry, and Trevor Lawrence and
Derrick Henry is
and you're like, those 2 guys, you're like, well, that's like 80% of the work.
Yeah, we should keep note of that as the NFL playoffs are about to begin, that the number 1 seed in fantasy didn't actually win the whole thing. Maybe we should keep that in mind. So who are we deciding that we think?
I think
McCaffrey?
Christian McCaffrey. Yeah.
I mean, dude, he hurt his calf the Thursday of the beginning of the season.
You know what's funny though?
And he had the same year as 2023.
Dude, he was the foundation of so many teams. Yeah.
But what are we actually giving an award for? Because if you think about it, if we're going to outsource any award in the world to just a number, Bijan being on the most championship teams is like by definition the most valuable player. And yet we didn't consider him, which to me just means I don't know if you guys have looked at the championship teams in your leagues. I'm in like 10 leagues. You just look at the teams. You're like, this fucking team. Like if you'd gone back 3 weeks ago, I'm like, I wouldn't have picked, you're like, hey, you can just have this team. I'd be like, nope, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like if you just blindly looked at the leagues, the teams in your league, and you're like, guess which one won the league? You'd be like, I don't know.
It just doesn't feel right. Like
No.
Bijan had weeks. Like when you look at Bijan, like he had a week of 4, 8. McCaffrey was way more consistent than Bijan, and there's just way more risk involved. I think you have to factor that in. I don't know. To me, it feels like the story of the season is not Bijan Robinson. It's McCaffrey for fantasy.
Yeah, I think so. Or as Puka, I think it's by position. It's so easy. It's Stafford and Drake May. Which we'll get to May, but Stafford and Puka, McBride.
Well,
McCaffrey. Let's do McCaffrey. Fine, McCaffrey.
It needs to be an official award. We're going to be mailing these guys trophies.
Open up the envelope.
Like the Himmies. Yeah, it's McCaffrey.
Okay. All right. That brings us to the LVP, the least valuable player in fantasy football. So we figured that we would go through our 17 players from the burn book this year and look to see if one of those players should be crowned the least valuable player, or if we have anyone else that we think deserves it. So I can run through our 17 players here that we put in the burn book this season. Starting in week 1, Jalen Waddle, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Pacheco, Calvin Ridley, Travion Henderson, Tony Pollard, Justin Fields is week 7. Alvin Kamara was week 8. We went on to Bill Merritt, then DJ Moore, AJ Brown in week 11, Roma Dunze week 12, Justin Jefferson, Ashton Genty in week 14, Emeka Ibuka in week 15. That's a brutal one.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart week 16 after he scored 0 points that week. And to cap things off, Jahmyr Gibbs, who killed you in the fantasy playoffs. So is there somebody not on that list that you think deserves the LVP, DK?
I think weirdly enough, yeah, the least valuable guy in terms of where you drafted him, I think, and especially if you're not taking it into like guys that got hurt, like Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, he did miss a few games, but Brian Thomas Jr. when he was in there
How the
Just
fuck did we
worthless.
not have him in the burn book?
I don't
this year?
understand that either.
What
I
did
don't
we
know.
do?
Because he was hurt for a while. Maybe that, yeah, I don't know.
We were going to give him time, and then he got hurt. And so we never got to express our anger. And then by the time he came back,
I said this the other day when we were talking about Jalen Waddle. He came back into the game. I just didn't even notice. Like, Brian Thomas got back into the Jags roster and no one noticed. Like, he just was like the wide receiver 4 on the team for the rest of the year. So he's a super weird case. I think when it comes to, you know, like I'm in a lot of dynasty leagues, and when you talk about like what a rookie does, Brian Thomas Jr., what he did as a rookie was incredible. I mean, he literally scored the 4th most fantasy points among wide receivers as a rookie. 2.5 yards per route run. Everything about him was like, this guy is a rocket ship. Get him now before it's too late. He's only going up. Like, people were comparing him to Malik Neighbors. Who's better? You know, Malik Neighbors or Brian Thomas Jr. And then I actually don't know if he's any good. Like, I don't know if he's good. Do you guys know if he's good? If you had a gun to your head and you're like, I want him on my team, I'm like, okay. Like, I don't really know if he's any good anymore. Like, that's how so crazy of a fall it has been for him. I think he's like the 4th best receiver on the Jags now. And I barely noticed him this year.
Yeah, I think it is probably Brian Thomas. For me, God, this season's the next offseason is going to be so interesting. Like, the farther chart for Brian Thomas is just going to be an incredible conversation. Even like talking about guys like McCaffrey or Saquon going into next year is going to be bizarre. I think DK's right. I think the answer is probably Brian Thomas because, like,
he fucked you. He was like the 15th overall pick.
Yes, his ADP was 15. I have a spiritual answer that I would like to personally make the case for, and it's Mr. Lamar Jackson, who was the QB 20 on the season.
20
total. In points per game, it was 16, but it felt worse because it was like just basically night and day. It was black and white. And he missed the 4 games with injury. It felt like way more. After he came back from the injury, he was the QB 27 behind Cam Ward. He was behind Geno Smith, JJ McCarthy, Kirk Cousins, Lamar for the basically second half of the season when you were depending on him. 4 of the 8 games after the injury, he came back. He scored 7 points or less. Ugh. And then in week 16, if you somehow were lucky enough to make it to the second round of your fantasy playoffs, he scores 4 points and gets hurt. And I just think if you had Lamar, he fucking ruined your life this year. He ruined it.
Actually, this is the answer. This is the real answer here. I think he is the least valuable player, especially relative to what he's done before and expectations for what he would do when he's on the field. And I think the spirit of the burn book, the spirit of this award is like, who pissed you off the most? I stopped thinking about Brian Thomas halfway through the year. Like, I just stopped thinking about him. Lamar Jackson fucked you at the worst time of year. He abandoned you in your time of need. He was like, got hurt, and then he missed, he was just so worthless for literally like almost the entire second half of the season. There's huge chunks of this Ravens offense that have pissed me off over the years. Mark Andrews, absolutely just like one of the most annoying players. It always felt like you could depend on at least Lamar is going to deliver in fantasy because he's so good, both as a passer and a runner. But man, I'm perturbed at this team. I just like the Ravens right now. When I think about the Ravens, I'm just like, God, fuck them. They're so annoying. Fuck that whole team, especially since Derrick Henry bounced me from the championships like in three different leagues.
He's never going to get over that.
Never.
Can I throw out one other name for least valuable player?
Sure.
I think you could make a really strong case for Justin Jefferson.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Great call.
God.
He's probably worse than Brian Thomas, honestly.
He's not going to stoke as much anger as Lamar because of a sympathy. Because people are like, yeah, imagine having we do with JJ
really
McCarthy.
his
Having
fault.
said that,
right.
Here's the problem. Justin Jefferson didn't get hurt. At least Brian Thomas had the dignity to be out for months, and Lamar was out for months. You replaced him. You probably never played him again. So you're angry at Lamar. However, if you actually go with the least valuable player, no one benched Justin Jefferson. And if you did, congratulations. But Justin Jefferson,
this is
the
fair.
final 2 months, was not a top 60 wide receiver in fantasy football.
Dude, he scored single-digit points between week 10 and week 15. 6 straight games of single-digit points.
Dude, I mean this. This is not a joke. After week 10, Justin Jefferson had fewer fantasy points than Isaac Tesla.
Who caught like how many passes? 6?
Like 6. Ryan Flournoy and the Cowboys was better than him. You would have been better off playing Isaac Tesla and Ryan Flournoy. Justin Jefferson was your first pick. and you played him every week.
It's a compelling case.
I actually think it's Justin Jefferson.
Every time we bring up somebody,
I'm
it's
changing
them.
my mind.
No, I think I agree with Heifetz.
I think that he's the least valuable player. However, here's why. I kind of think it is Lamar in the sense that going into next year, people who had Lamar will be way less likely to have Lamar again. People with Justin Jefferson will be talked into Justin Jefferson if there's any competition with JJ McCarthy.
I think what this season has done, even though it might not necessarily be valid, is it's put into question like Lamar's career. Weirdly, I think people have a different opinion about Lamar now.
Like, how is he going to age?
Yes, Justin Jefferson, I think people still agree he's a top 3 wide receiver talent-wise. Lamar, it's like, should the Ravens blow it up?
There was a report, I think by Mike Sando today. Maybe it was more just like rumors and talk that the Ravens could even move on from Lamar, which is wild.
Wasn't there a Baltimore Sun report that Lamar is not kind of giving his all behind the scenes? He stays up late playing video games. He's not like super engaging in meetings, things like that.
Yeah.
So
I want to pencil in
Lamar. There's at least
enough
enough smoke happening that I'm like, God, man, it'd be crazy if they did that.
I want to pencil in Lamar Jackson as a Heifetz's favorite buy low for next year.
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I just want to. No one brings up the video games.
He was probably doing all those things the last 5 years and was fucking awesome. He just got hurt this year.
He got hurt, and the Ravens' interior line sucked.
And he got sick again, which I'm fucking tired of. I'm sick and tired of him being sick and tired.
He's had all the illnesses, so he can't get sick anymore. I think Lamar's the LVP.
I think Lamar is the LVP. Shouts out to me who had him in 2 of my 3 leagues. I also think it's worth mentioning, just throwing out that, I mean, because I was looking at the quarterbacks who you drafted this year, and my point was going to be that, man, like all these guys like somewhat delivered for you. Jaden Daniels just murdered you this year. Like he was so hurt that it basically you didn't even think about him.
Those guys hurt because when you take them, you're supposed to be excited about them. And the whole reason you take a quarterback high is in part, let's be honest, it's because it's fun to have a great quarterback on your team. Like if you took Josh Allen this year, you're thrilled every week to have Josh Allen. It's awesome. And then when you take a Lamar or Jaden Daniels and then they suck and are hurt, you're like, man, like I don't even like fantasy football anymore.
Yeah. The only reason why it's probably not Jaden is because he got hurt in week 2. So he missed week 3 and 4 and then was kind of in and out the rest of the season. You could have made other plans I mean, you could have added Trevor Lawrence in week 3.
Even Mariota. Yeah.
Right. So I agree. I think it is Lamar Jackson is the LVP. Congratulations, Lamar. Please celebrate. Okay. The next category here that we are stealing from the Rewatchables is what's aged the best on the season. Takes and narratives that have aged the best this year. Heifetz, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you want my big winner or you want
rattle off
I got
a couple? Give us some of your favorites.
My favorites, I think, honestly, the coaching hype cycle. I think we always look at hyped coaches, but Ben Johnson was as hyped a coach candidate, I would say, since Josh McDaniels with the Broncos 15 years ago. Delivered. Liam Cohen with the Jaguars, we heard so much about him. Delivered. Mike Vrabel, who I said was one of the best coaching candidates in years, and delivered. And that hype cycle delivered in real life, and all those teams are going to make the playoffs, win divisions. And then fantasy, too, like Travis Etienne, DeAndre Swift. If you had believed in these guys and what they said they would do, then you basically would have done really well. Yeah. Christian Watson's ACL recovery aged really well. Like the best one in 13 years, I would say, since Peterson. Yes. The Cowboys trading for George Pickens.
Sure.
I think aged really well.
Well, I don't know. Did it? Because they're missing the playoffs.
It was cool. It was content,
he made them more fun.
It got people talking, which is what who cares about playoffs?
Yeah.
I would say that what aged well is the Giants trading up for Jackson Dart and the Saints taking Tyler Shuck.
Oh, sure.
I think aged really well. I mean,
yep.
The Browns, the Steelers, the Cardinals, the Dolphins all didn't take those guys.
Yeah.
And I think the Giants and Saints getting them worked out well. I would say other things that age well. I think Ben Johnson turning down the Washington job 2 years ago. Like that looked really bad when Washington almost made the Super Bowl. And now you're like, okay, that might've been smart. However, I just think Joe Flacco aged well.
Did you guys see the clip going around that somebody asked, did Joe Flacco freeze? And there was like a video of him
I was watching the screen.
That was so funny. He's just sitting there like.
He's got one of the best quotes of the year that we'll get to later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I give you my number one what aged the best, though? And I don't think it's no offense to what you guys have. I think it's not even close. What's aged the best?
Okay.
The number one thing that aged the best in this season is that random Steelers fan, Seth Rorabaugh, tweeted after the Buffalo beat the Bills, or Steelers, the Buffalo beat the Steelers 26-7. And
They
then
ran for like a record 230 yards against them. Yeah.
with neither starting tackle, the Bills ran for the most yards in the Steelers stadium in 50 years. And then Seth Rorabaugh tweeted, Mike Tomlin is going to say something like, we can't eat soup with forks. We need spoons. Then the Steelers will sign a 2018 Pro Bowler to the practice squad. And one day later, they signed Adam Thielen, who was in fact a Pro Bowler in 2018.
Yeah.
And Tomlin said some weird like maxim too. I don't even remember exactly what it was, but it was like awkward.
He's got a lot of bangers. One came out today that Brooke Pryor, who's a great Steelers reporter, tweeted out. This is what Tomlin said today. And I was like, God, dude, this guy's just cranking
Where
out
does he
bangers.
find these?
This is Mike Tomlin on not dwelling about frustration of not clinching the AFC North last week. This is what he said. My windshield is bigger than my rear view. Where's he get these?
Do you think he has like a little calendar that just has pithy phrases?
Is there like a Ratatouille under his hat who like comes up with little phrases for him?
There's such a funny Venn diagram between things Mike Tomlin says to justify losses in the NFL and captions on Instagrams by thirst traps by Instagram influencers and models. Like they kind of have the same energy when they
Mike
talk.
Tomlin should write the art that goes in Airbnbs that hangs on the wall.
Yeah.
He would
That's
crush
so good.
those.
My windshield is bigger than my rear view.
Than my rear view. It's like, well, maybe the rear view should be a little bit bigger because you just lost in the fucking Browns. Okay, maybe you should figure out why that happened.
Think about it, at least. Yeah.
He just like ran over a deer on the road, and he's like, "Well, my windshield is bigger than my rear view." It's like, okay. DK, what do you have for what's age the best?
I think hating on / fading Sean Payton players ended up being pretty good. The J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey split was a nightmare for most of the season for you. Cortland Sutton, I don't think I had anything against Cortland Sutton. He was always going to be kind of the guy for them, and he did fine. It's not like he won you your league, but he was a fine player. But like if you look at Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, Marvin Mims, all played less than 60% of snaps. In fact, Bryant and Mims played less than 50% of snaps. It was a rotation. They went and got Will Jordan Humphrey, which almost gave Heifetz an aneurysm.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I think that in general is I'm just going to continue on that track. I mean, obviously Bo Nix did well this year in fantasy, but I'm out on almost all Broncos skill players unless they absolutely cannot be. The Travion Henderson small letter bullying aged well. I think his jersey is somewhat normal now. I haven't looked at it lately, but I think it's back to sort of normal. They did a bunch of features on this. People were all tweeting at us the other day because like they did like this whole featurette. I think
Did we cause that? Do you think we caused that?
I think we're part of it.
Well, it's funny. They were like, look, there's two players on the Patriots who wear this. It's Stephon Diggs and Travion Henderson. And what they left out is, because they're really small.
Yeah.
Tiny.
The other thing that I think aged well is being a hating-ass hater about Scott Hansen. Craig, welcome. Welcome to the dark side, my friend, or the light side, depending on how you look at it.
And we head to Las Vegas, where Jackson Dart is darting his way to the #1 pick.
God,
all right.
It feels good to be not on that island anymore with Austin. It was just Austin and I, but now we're getting some people. They're joining.
It's a grassroots movement.
Yeah.
Here's what I have for what's age the best this year. The Jaden Daniels Washington Commanders regression prediction.
Oh my God.
I mean, my goodness. Jaden Daniels hurt all year. The Commanders win 4 games. They have the 7th pick in the draft. It looks like.
Dude, I was looking at some offseason grades from the offseason, and the Commanders were like up there in terms of like people thought that was like a great offseason for them. My God.
Well, you know what's funny? It was a great offseason for them because they traded for left tackle. They drafted a tackle. They did the right things. They just relied on all these old guys they'd signed the previous offseason, and they were all healthy last year. And then this year, they all got hurt.
Yeah.
I also have the Saquon regression narrative after all of his touches, all that stuff. Kind of not that it was his fault, but just
Heifetz is like,
regression.
I've been saying it for 10 damn years.
That aged well. I would say us questioning if Marvin Harrison Jr. is actually good aged quite well.
Yeah.
I also had the new coaching hires with Heifetz. I also have the narrative. Well, the Bears fixed their offensive line in the offseason. That actually aged pretty well.
Usually that's the biggest red herring, but
Like,
not this time.
Team signs literally any offensive lineman, and everyone's like, "Well, the Bears fixed their offensive line."
This is the new Adrian Peterson tore his ACL and then came back and had his best season ever. Now everyone's going to be like, "Hey, they signed the line. Remember when the Bears signed all those linemen?" And it's not going to work again for 10 years.
The only other ones I had were the first 3 picks of the 2024 NFL draft. I guess other than Jaden, but Caleb and Drake May
Mm-hmm.
aged very well. Jerry Jones trading away Micah Parsons before he tore his ACL.
What did he know?
That aged really
What did
well.
he know?
That aged really well. And then I want to toot our own horns. I was looking at our predictions over the offseason in the summer and August. Dude, we did an episode in August, our do not draft list. Hot damn. Let me read the guys that we recommended you not draft this year. Baker Mayfield, DK Metcalf, Caleb Johnson, Terry McLaurin, Mark Andrews, Kenneth Walker, David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, and Chris Olave, who ended up being all right. But we literally went like 9 for 10 on that.
And we rectified it we had Chris Olave as a buy low candidate immediately. So we
I will say you guys ever seen Super Troopers where he's like, how's your aim this morning, Fernie, or whatever, and he's like, there's like a one in like the neck of the whatever, and he's like, that little guy, don't worry about that little guy. That's Olave here. I will say, in my defense, that was me. And it was more just about the concussions.
You didn't have to say that. Everyone would have assumed it was me.
It was about the concussions. I was worried about him playing.
Well, no, our thing was Olave's not fun to watch, which remains true because he gets hit.
But he was great. He was awesome.
I will say, though, this list, I think we're as good as anyone is admitting when we're wrong, which is a lot. I have to say, though, I did pull this up, and I'm looking at my notes right now from Caleb Johnson, and I actually did write down, I just don't think this guy's going to play.
Which will make it tough.
Arthur Smith, baby. Freaking Kenneth Gainwell, one of the more like valuable pickups late in the year.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson had 69 rushing yards this year
and 1 fumble in a kick return.
Let's move. So wait, do we want to give a winner? You want to do? It's got to be Seth Rohrbaugh's tweet, right?
It's the tweet. Yeah. Literally, the fact that he predicted the signing a 2018 Pro Bowler, and
it's unbelievable.
Can we get this guy to help us with some of our Ringer 107 stuff?
Dude, that guy's got to be it.
We're not in first anymore. All right, let's move on to what's aged the worst. DK, we'll start with you. What do you have for what's aged the worst?
What's aged the worst? Us defending the tush push over the offseason and saying we want it. We want
saying man up.
You're being a pussy if you vote against this. Yeah.
Right.
That's
great, why don't you
aged
do
poorly. I don't think anything, no one turned on anything as much as the tush push this season. It's boring to watch. It's annoying to watch. They can't officiate it correctly. It's going to get outlawed this year.
Once the false start thing was exposed, I think that was the nail in the coffin that caused everybody to flip on the tush push.
That was now the tuxedos seem fucked up moment.
Yeah. It's like all right, now they're actually cheating because they're just false starting on every fucking play.
What else is aged the worst? The Jags trading 2 firsts and change for a guy who's just okay at corner and wide receiver / AKA expensive Wan'Dale Robinson. That felt like a very mean thing to say at the beginning of the year about Hunter, but now I'm like, Wan'Dale had 1,000 yards.
Wan'Dale Robinson, the shortest receiver to ever have 1,000 yards.
Wan'Dale Robinson might be kind of good.
I mean, now I'm like, the Jags traded up to get Travis Hunter when all they needed was to send a 4th-round pick for Jacoby Myers.
Seriously.
I got to tell you, as the probably literal number 2 biggest Travis Hunter fan after Deion Sanders in America, I got to tell you, going into next year, it is absolutely insane to think that the Jaguars offense, when they have 3 receivers on the field, have to pay Jacoby Myers. Like they paid him, he's going to start. They have to play Brian Thomas. And the fact that they would take Parker Washington off the field is ridiculous. Like Travis Hunter is the 4th receiver on that team.
They're going to take Parker Washington off the field for Travis Hunter, and it might make them worse.
It will. And it's like, just play him a cornerback. And then if someone gets hurt, then move him to receiver. Like that's the right move.
I mean, obviously it's great that the Jags are doing so well this year because the first rounder that they have to give up next year is not very high. So that's good. Let's see. A couple other things that aged poorly. Worrying about Matt Stafford.
Thank God the Falcons made the playoffs too, because the pick they're going to give the Rams it won't be that high.
We'll get to that.
I feel like that's the only reason why they're still trying so hard right now.
Well, they had to beat the Rams. They were like, oh God, that's all anyone's going to
playing all their starters. Age the worst. Worrying about Matt Stafford going into the Silver Airstream parked outside the practice facility. Turns out he's fine.
It made me feel better on Monday Night Football, where they were like, every now and then the little pregame production meetings, they do have insight. And they were like, Matt Stafford admitted to me, Troy Aikman was like, if you had told me I'd feel this good at this point in the season, he's like, I would never have believed you. I'm like, okay, that makes me feel better.
Thinking Pete Carroll would make the Raiders better has aged horrifically poorly. I hit piece on Caleb Williams claiming he had dyslexia. Whew, that did not age well. Choosing this is kind of related to that. Choosing JJ McCarthy over Caleb Williams after week 1 when Craig asked me who I'd rather have. I need to stick to my guns, Craig. Don't let me fucking waffle.
All right. That's on
the
me.
Colts trading 2 future ones, then promptly imploding worse than almost any team we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner went 1-7 on 2 different teams.
Dude, brutal. This one's a small one, but that 2-week period when we thought the Cowboys were actually kind of good did not age well.
Those are all good. Hi, Fitz, what do you have?
I think those are all really good. I think that we have to, Anthony Richardson excitement in this, like any thoughts of Anthony Richardson doing anything in the NFL is aged very poorly. Ravens being Super Bowl favorites.
Man.
I top tier though, right with that article about Caleb Williams being unworkable is I think the idea that Tom Brady's pre-production meetings with teams was giving the Raiders an unfair advantage.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
I don't
good callback. I forgot about that.
I don't think anything has aged worse than that. If you said that now, it would be the dumbest thing you could possibly say. If I had said, if that idea was just
people would be like, actually, let them do that. They need it. They need all the help they can get.
However, I don't know if anything's actually aged worse other than that. The Vikings taking JJ McCarthy over Bo Nix is something we're going to have to start talking about. Bo Nix, the 3rd most touchdown passes through 2 seasons of any quarterback ever.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
And sorry, lastly here, JJ McCarthy's alter ego. 9.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. That one, you should have just kept that one
in the holster. When 9 comes out. When 9 comes out.
Save that for like year 4.
Yeah, you need to wait on the nickname. It can't come too quick. Those are all really good. I have a bunch of the ones you guys have. The Falcons trade, the Jags trading up for Travis Hunter, the Tyler Dunn article. Taking Ashton Genty 6th overall in real life in fantasy drafts.
Brutal.
Pretty brutal. And then I think UNC's opening drive against TCU to score a touchdown to go up 7-0. If in that moment, what you would have predicted for the Bill Belichick Tar Heels after that did not age great.
So do you think that is the real answer here? What aged the worst is just Bill Belichick.
The worst. Bill Belichick's legacy, Bill Belichick's just body. He's probably poorly. He's probably actually doing well body wise right now.
Well, he's doing great body wise.
For guys his age, he's doing fine.
His body's it's the best it's been in years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. In many ways. I think Belichick is on the short list for loser of the year, but we'll get to that. I think it's got to be. I think there's a couple. I think DK taking JJ McCarthy over Caleb is a leading candidate. I think
that is like the classic example of recency bias.
It's why I love making DK commit to shit like that after week 1. I think the hit piece on Caleb being dyslexic and basically being unfixable.
It was more than that. It was that Caleb Williams is a diva, first NIL generation, like unworkable diva superstar. You can't, his shit doesn't smell. He'll never be a guy.
Is there a chance though that all that was like kind of true, but Ben Johnson just sent him to fucking boot camp and it fixed him?
I think there was shades of truth in all of that stuff. I don't know about the dyslexia thing, obviously, but like in terms of how horribly everything went in year 1 and how we can't just say it was all the coaching's like fault. It was clearly partly on Caleb Williams himself too. I think all that is true, but also, it just did not age well. The
dyslexia thing isn't the point. Like, to be clear, it wasn't even the coaches. And again, to be clear, it was like 30 anonymous coaches all talking about, or guys who've been fired from the Bears because of Caleb and axe to grind. But it was an unusually large amount of people talking about the guy. And even that one, that wasn't about Caleb. That was about the GM allegedly not telling the coaches that Caleb had been diagnosed. The coaches didn't give a shit about if Caleb did or did not. They were like, if he did, just tell us so we'll fucking teach him differently, which is actually, that's the only thing I think totally made sense. I think, and again, it's ridiculous to kind of like put that stuff out there without confirming it. But I think the thing about that I'm like embarrassed in retrospect is, I do think that like, especially the way that Matt Eberflus and the Cowboys defense went this year, like, they clearly had no idea what to do with Caleb. Like they couldn't help him. And it's obviously that they failed him. I think that's clear.
Do you think it kind of aged well that in retrospect now that Ryan Poles was like actively not showing his scouts tape of other players in the draft playing well because he wanted Caleb so bad? I'm kind of like maybe Baldoer. I don't know.
The Drake. Well, with the other points Drake made, no, it's probably a mistake. Probably should have had a conversation.
Yeah, the MVP. Yeah. Okay. I think everything kind of around Caleb probably has eight's the worst. Okay. Let's get to Dion, the Dion Waiters Award, another Rewatchables category that we're stealing. For the purposes of this show, the Dion Waiters Award is the best waiver wire pickup of the season.
Yeah.
I think there is a consensus answer. I do want to ask, I think we think it's probably Michael Wilson, the Cardinals wide receiver who took over Arizona for the last half of the season, right? Would we say that?
I think Michael Wilson's the best waiver wire pickup in years. One of the best of all time.
Expound on that.
It's simple. There have been better players because there's been running backs that go in campaigns, but what Michael Wilson did never happens. Like there are quarterbacks that, like Trevor Lawrence was awesome. To your point, like if Trevor Lawrence was available in your league, you could argue it's Trevor Lawrence because, as Craig said, he had like the most points ever in the playoffs. So if Trevor Lawrence was cut and added in your league, sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
He was the only one I wanted to point out because I don't even know if he had to be cut then added. He was the QB 20 in drafts. He was probably not drafted.
Maybe he wasn't, and that's fair. I think the reason I would pick Michael Wilson is what happens with him never happens. There are quarterbacks that are good that you pick up all the time. There are running backs that someone gets hurt and someone has like an incredible season, and that happens all the time. With like not all the time, but every season or two, there's a great running back. Tight ends happens. Michael Wilson, after week 11, the top receivers in all of fantasy football was number 1 was Puka Nacua after week 11. Number 2 was Jackson Smith-Njigba. And then 1 yard behind Jackson Smith-Njigba. So tied for second place was Michael Wilson. Yeah. For the final 2 months of the season, you added a receiver off waivers that was better than every receiver in fantasy football except for Puka Nacua. And honestly, he tied Jackson Smith-Njigba. He was 0.1 points behind Njigba, so they had tied. You added Jackson Smith-Njigba off waivers. That is what you got with Michael Wilson. That's like never happened.
This is not the point of this show, but man, I can't wait to figure out what the fuck we're going to talk about with Michael Wilson next year.
I'm telling you, dude, next year's going to be fucking the wild, wild west.
Well, where do you rank him?
Yeah.
It was a perfect confluence of like the Cardinals were the most injured team in the NFL this year quietly. And then they had no running game. And so they had to throw and they were losing everything because the defense sucks. So Jacoby Brissett set the record. I think, did he have the most completions in a 4-week stretch? He
had the most completions in a game ever.
49?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
He had like 160 completions in a 4-week span. So there's the PPR of it. Michael Wilson was getting 180 yards a pop. I think it has to be Michael Wilson.
I have a question. This is going to sound really, really obvious, but I don't know for sure if it's actually going to happen or not. Maybe this is just people just hanging on to like pre-draft stuff. But like, is Michael Wilson for sure going to be ranked ahead of Marvin Harrison next year?
I think he has to be, but I don't know how I would take him because the Cardinals offense is going to be weird. I don't know how you could watch this season and think of Marvin Harrison Jr. as anything other than like a cheeky buy low. But just to expand the point here, Michael Wilson, that list you mentioned earlier for the MVP thing, this Yahoo list of the players most commonly found in championship winning teams. Number 1's Bijan, 27%. Number 2 is McCaffrey, 26%. Puka's third, 24%. Michael Wilson is fifth and 23%.
I mean, I think that solidifies him as the best pickup. Yeah.
He is the Dion Waiters. I would say honorable mentions are guys who had hot stretches, but it didn't sustain. Rico Dowdle for a while there was a sensation.
My boy Rico.
Woody Marks had a productive year. Kenneth Gainwell was really good despite not being drafted. I'm going to throw out guys like Kyle Monungai. Jackson Dart had 6 games scoring over 20 points this year. He was incredible for stretches. Harold Fannin Jr. was the tight end 5 on the year.
He was kind of like a tight end savior at the end of the year there. When
yes.
Guys were getting hurt.
I mean, he was completely not drafted. Parker Washington was really good over stretches. And then this guy might not qualify because he was probably drafted, but there's a chance that Javonte Williams was not drafted and was added immediately in week 1 and was fucking great.
Heifetz got him in the last round.
Yes. So he's close, I think. But I do, and then Trevor Lawrence, like I said, but I do think it has to be Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
What a bizarre year it's been. Okay. The next award here is the Biggest Leap Award. The player that made the biggest leap from last year to this year. Who did you guys have? Heifetz, who did you have?
I think in real life and in fantasy, it has to be Drake May. I mean, Drake May might win the MVP this year. Drake May might get the number 1 seed in the AFC. And Drake May where did he finish among quarterbacks this season?
3?
2?
Top 2, top 3. I mean, for all the hyperbole, all we talked about was Drake May, like sleeper. He was like probably the number 1 most popular sleeper in all of fantasy this year, and he shattered it. So I think it has to be.
That's got to be the right answer. Do you guys remember after week 1, and we were asking each other if Drake May was any good?
They lost to the Raiders.
Drake May had a horrific week 1. He was missing everything, And talking to some of the Patriots beat, it was like the word was he basically was really, really inconsistent in preseason and training camp. They weren't really quite sure what to make of him. So the fact that he came back and had this MVP season, I think that's the obvious answer. I think that is the correct answer. Drake May made an absolutely huge leap. The only other guy I would throw out there is JSN. I know that he had over 1,000 yards last year, but it just felt like he did a quantum leap in terms of like what he was doing week in and week out, like the ways that he was winning, what he was doing, not just from a statistical point of view, but just very, very impressive route runner, hands, catch and run, combat catches, everything that he was doing. I was just like, man, this guy he's made an absolute huge leap.
Yes, this is a very tricky category because I think there are a lot of qualified candidates. I think you're right. I mean, if you factor in real life, even on fantasy alone, but Drake May's probably going to win the MVP. Him going from what he was last year to winning the MVP and being maybe the 1 seed in the AFC is incredible.
Yep.
JSN, though, coming out of nowhere to be a top 5 receiver in the NFL is so close. And then I would also probably just toss in as the bronze medalist. I mean, Caleb Williams going from maybe one of the worst busts in a long time at the first overall pick to just like a guy that we think could like realistically win multiple Super Bowls.
I don't think that's even close because Caleb.
No, I agree.
I don't think
Drake May is going to win the MVP.
Yeah, even as bad as Caleb was last year, I think it was obvious. Like they fired the entire staff. Like plenty of rookies have bad years. If Caleb had a bad second year, it'd be one thing. But
I think you could make the case for Drake though too, right? A lot of people were like, "Oh, if you actually watched Drake last year, he's really good. Like, don't worry, he is really good." And that was correct. He didn't go from disaster to great. He went from, man, we think under the hood everything looks really good to we were correct.
The difference to me is just Caleb's going to win, or Drake May probably ends up as the MVP. And Ben Johnson said in November that we're winning despite our passing game.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I that's why I think he's a bronze medalist or maybe a little bit below that. But it's got to be Drake May. Congrats to Bill. Okay.
I got to.
Patriots fans really deserve it.
You know what's so over is the 5-year reprieve we had from just Patriots dominance.
Yeah, that was fun. That was great.
From 2000 to 2040, we got 5 years off and it's over.
If you could pick a team right now to just buy stock in for the next 10 years, are the Patriots number one?
I think they have to be, and I would say for this simple reason. Things come and go. Mike Vrabel is I think the best coach in the NFL. He's not going anywhere. And Josh McDaniels, who is the coordinator and key to it, the Patriots have what the Chiefs had in that the Chiefs had this weird infrastructure where Andy Reid's the coach and play caller, so they're not going to lose the offense. Steve Spagnuolo was still old that no one hired him to run the defense. The Patriots have that too because no one's going to hire Josh McDaniels to be the head coach, so they're going to keep him. And so that's why I think I would pick the Patriots. You have Vrabel, Drake May, and Josh McDaniels, and they're not going to lose any of those guys.
I'm looking at the other teams, Craig. I don't know if you can make an argument for any other team right now. That's wild. There's so many question marks with a lot of these teams.
Let's say, what about this? What if I pose it this way? Who do you think, if you had to bet who wins the most Super Bowls over the next 10 years, is it still New England?
No.
Or you can take the Chiefs?
I would take, I hate to say this. You said 20 years?
10.
I actually would take the Patriots just because I believe so much in Mike Vrabel and the coaching staff there and Drake May.
DK, would you take the Patriots to win more Super Bowls than Mahomes over the next 10 years?
Probably not.
I don't think I would either.
No.
You're betting on the Chiefs? I gotta tell you guys,
your lack of faith in the Chiefs is going to age very poorly. I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing. Can I counter this? You're saying Mahomes is Michael Jordan. Because the idea that he's going to win 3 more, they're like, okay, like they're going to come back and he'll be healthy. Because I think the flip side is like, how old is Andy Reid? Like, I'm just saying Andy Reid's 67. So if you don't think he's going to win next year with Mahomes coming off the ACL, Andy Reid's 68. How much longer is this going to happen?
I don't know. 10 more years. Kansas City was 12th in DVOA this year.
I mean, I would say Patrick Mahomes is closer to being the Michael Jordan of football than he is to not. Right? I mean, he's won.
It's not like a weird thing to say.
He's been to 5 Super Bowls and he's 30.
Tom Brady had like three separate versions of his career.
Yeah. I am not discounting Mahomes. I have questions. It's still a team game.
Well, this is a nice segue into this next category, which is something that we are bringing in for the first time. This is the It's So Over of the year. So this is, now that we're at the end of the season, Which player fits the "it's so over" category the most? Here are some nominees I'll throw at you. Tua.
Oh,
Justin Fields.
I think you could stop to
Wow.
count.
holy
Yeah.
cow. It is
I think-
over.
Tua, Justin Fields, Kyler Murray are
Oh
my
my
personal
God.
3 candidates.
So I'm going to step. We had something called Stat of the Year later in this, or half-assed internet research, and not my favorite, but I have to mention that for Justin Fields, because as if it's not amazing enough to have 4 different games you didn't hit 55 passing yards. Through the first 9 games of their seasons, Blake Horvath, the quarterback at Navy, had more passing yards than Justin Fields in his
Navy
9
offense.
starts this season.
Classic. I think it's Tua.
Yeah, I think it's Tua as well.
It is so over.
I don't
So over.
I don't feel like I think Kyler Murray, there's still probably someone that believes in him and to try and make him a starter
Yes,
again.
Yes.
I don't think anyone's going to want to take on the Tua thing at this point.
But the irony is, but then he's so back because he'll have to play for the Dolphins. Like, are the Dolphins? I mean, we talked about this. We don't have to go on all the cap stuff because
Yeah, but
it's
he's not gonna be the long-term starter.
Oh
for
my
them.
God! I just figured out who Tua is going to play for.
Don't tell
They're
me.
gonna guess. I just figured it out. A team that won't have better options.
Cardinals. Raiders.
Don't. No, wait. Who's it going to be?
Jets.
Yes,
No.
they're going to cut
He
him.
can't.
The
Tua
Dolphins are
cannot
going
be
to
a
cut him.
Jet.
The
Tua
Dolphins are
can't
going
be
to
a
cut
Jet.
him, and the Jets won't have a better option. Because if the Jets don't get Fernando Mendoza, we'll see what quarterbacks come out. But if none of the other quarterbacks come out, who's good? Who are the? If they only have to pay him $1 million, who are they going to have better than Tua?
The Jets getting Tua is like Thanos putting on the final ring, but in the worst case scenario of like
And it all falls
this has
apart.
the potential to go as badly as anything's ever gone.
Any of the Kyler, Tua, it's the ultimate Jet. The only other person I'd say for so over is, should we have the Chiefs to wrap up what we were just saying? I mean, this is the Chiefs as we know them are so over. Like when you close your mind, you think of the Chiefs, this era, sorry to Taylor Swift it, but like it's the first half of it's like the Tyreek Hill Chiefs, like fuck it, Tyreek down there somewhere, Kelsey, it's amazing. But then they still morphed into this like, okay, it's not as exciting anymore, but the dink and dunk, they're in the Super Bowl every year. They're anytime Kelsey catches the ball, they cut to Taylor Swift. And it's like, this is something I hate to say it, it's as memorable and indelible an image of any team we've seen with our eyes so far. I think they're way more memorable than any of these Patriots teams. Like this era of the Chiefs, because of Taylor Swift, because of the star power, because of Kelsey, because of Mahomes, like it's so over. Kelsey's going to retire. Taylor Swift's not going to be at these games anymore. The way we remember the Chiefs, when Mahomes comes back, it's going to be like Mahomes and Marquise Brown and Noah Gray. Like it's not the same.
I agree that this era or this chapter, whatever you want to call it, of the Chiefs is over.
Travis's
Right.
version.
Hyvitz, did you watch the Taylor Swift Eras Tour 6-part documentary on Disney Plus?
I watched the Eras Tour when they put it on Disney Plus like a year ago. I have not watched the 6-parter. Although I did see, shout out Mike Golick Jr., who noted that the pianist for Taylor Swift's tour, the person who plays the piano, is like someone named Michelle De Piano. I was like, what?
Nominative determinism.
It was, wait, I got to look it up. Dude, I couldn't
She
believe
was
it.
born in the piano.
Her name is Karina De Piano.
She's from the piano.
She's married to
Karina-
Ed Policy.
Of piano, yeah.
Ed
Karina De
Policy.
Piano plays piano. Everyone's like Taylor Swift business expert. She's looking at the resume. She's like,
I'll take. Yeah, that makes sense.
I watched half of it. It's. I learned nothing about her. It's incredibly manicured and it's a decent watch.
And it's decent.
It's
I
entertaining.
thought you were gonna say it was garbage, but okay.
No. It's like you're entertained the entire time, but it's so crafted by her.
someone described it to me as in the middle of it, they realized, oh, wow, we need to be filming this. Is how it was described to me.
Yeah, I feel like they were filming it the entire time, but Taylor Swift is ahead of all that stuff. But
Okay. Well, I don't know. I didn't see it.
I think it's
fine. I
Tua.
think it's fine. It's Tua. I think it's Tua. He
Tua.
is the most over.
You know, I was going over some of the old docs in preparation for the show, and it's a Tua State solution when Tua
Oh my
was
God.
talking about fucking going to play in Jerusalem of all
I
places.
had that for quote of the year. That was a comment. Tua's like, yeah, they're like, you could play anywhere. And he's like, I would love to play in Jerusalem. And there's a pause. And someone just commented, Tua State solution.
Yeah, Jesus.
Okay, this inevitably brings us to the We're So Back of the year. Christian McCaffrey?
Yes. Big time.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
Sean Payton?
He's back last
He
year.
was pretty back last year.
Made the playoffs with a
Yeah.
third of the team in dead cap.
Yeah.
The Patriots?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking A.
Unfortunately,
Patriots.
yes.
I what's that Shane Battier quote? Contrary to reports of my demise are greatly the fucking Patriots.
Oh, reports of my demise are greatly
Yeah.
exaggerated.
Yeah,
That
Patriots
was
are
Mark
bad.
Twain. Who did you say it was?
Shane Battier?
It's a famous. It's a. I don't know. It's a famous meme. He
That's
said
like-
it
that's
when
like-
the Heat won the finals.
That's like saying
Oh,
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Michael Scott.
Michael Scott.
Is Michael Scott Wayne Gretzky?
Well, yeah.
Do you have any other nominees here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd rather rename the award after this person. So back of the year is Kyle Pitts.
I mean, fuck, we are really back with Kyle Pitts. I'm
Are we?
100% falling
He's
for
the
it
number
next
2
year.
tight end in fantasy.
But you just spent 5 minutes talking about how every other tight end is irrelevant and tight end 2 might as well be tight end 20.
It doesn't fucking matter. He was the number 1 tight end in
Yeah,
December.
but what if he's on the Chiefs, Craig?
He had more fantasy points in a game this year than Kelsey or Gronkowski or Tony Gonzalez ever did.
Wait, is he a free agent?
He had one good game this entire season, basically.
That's not true. He was the number 1 tight end from week 13 on. As soon as I started fucking complaining about him, he was incredible.
No, he was not incredible. Look at his stats. Here's the last half of his season. 5.
No, don't look at the last half. Look at the
Okay,
last
sorry.
5 weeks because he's I
Okay,
think he's
all
better
right.
than Trey McBride.
Here are the last 5 weeks. 11, 12, 40, 15, and 2. He was fucking fine except for 40.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. You and DK had intrusive. You kept saying, I think Kyle Pitts is good. And I was like, no, I saw him. I dropped 1 pass too many and I'm like, I'm out. And then you guys are like, he's good. I'm hitting here being like, yeah, he's the number 2 on the season. He's back. And you're like, no. DK, what do you think? I feel
I
crazy.
think he's back. I think he's so back.
I don't think he's so back.
I do.
I think he is not more back than bilateral Achilles tendonitis Christian McCaffrey setting a touch record for a personal career high in touches, being the RB1 in fantasy, or the New England Patriots going from one of the worst teams of the last 5 years to basically just being Tom Brady Patriots again. I think those guys are way more back than Kyle Pitts having how many yards did Kyle Pitts have this year?
Craig, but you're not thinking about it.
870.
You're not thinking about the show lore.
I couldn't disagree more. Yeah, Craig, here's the thing.
I
Yes.
agree with Craig though. Literally, McCaffrey's way more.
No, but he's
Way
more
more
back.
back.
No, but
The Patriots?
McCaffrey. All right, fine. The Patriots, I get. McCaffrey, after all that, do you know where he was drafted this year? 7th. Do you know where Kyle Pitts was drafted this year? 140th.
He didn't even have a career high in yards this year.
He was 12th round pick. All right, fine. It's this simple. Where is Kyle Pitts? If the Falcons franchise tag him, where are you ranking Kyle Pitts among tight ends next year?
9th.
DK?
8th or 9th.
Probably I don't know, 5th
He's
or something.
4th.
4th?
Yeah.
If he didn't have
McBride,
that one
McBride,
game-
Bowers, Kittle, and it's going to be Pitts, man.
If he did not have that one game, he would probably be.
He did, though,
not
Craig.
But he
discussed the
did.
entire
He
season.
had it.
That's some shit that when I say it, you lose your mind.
I just
But if he
think
didn't
that's
have the
crazy.
best game of tight ends ever had,
I'm sitting here right in the middle playing devil's advocate because I agree with Craig that he's not as back as these other guys, but he is back.
can I throw out another guy though? I actually think should win this award.
Is, for the bit of the show, he's back. But
That's
if
what
we
I'm saying.
actually would need to give the award out, it is obviously the Patriots.
Can I,
Yeah.
for so back? Yes. Can I throw out one other candidate for we're so
Okay.
back, it's so over? Because the original pitch we had when we did this award was it's about the combination of it's so over, we're so back, it's so over, we're so back. Like Trevion Henderson, it's so over, we're so back. The actual person who captured both of these this year is Jalen Hurts. Because Jalen Hurts won Super Bowl MVP, and it was the most back anyone's been back. And then the Eagles fans were obnoxious, and they were like, "How dare you also mention that we have the most talented roster we've ever seen without saying Jalen
dare
Hurts?
you?
How dare you not say Jalen Hurts is a top 8 quarterback? How dare you?" And then we were got bullied, and then within 10 months later, Jalen Hurts is turning the ball over twice on one play, and Eagles fans are openly yelling for Tanner McKee at halftime on Black Friday. Eagles fans are screaming for Tanner McKee in the stands 10 months after he won Super Bowl MVP for their fucking team. I would argue, going back to Jalen Hurts in college, between like him winning, being the first freshman to play for Nick Saban, being benched, Tua replacing him, coming back in, beating Georgia. I would argue Jalen Hurts is the most "it's so over, we're so back" player in the history of fucking modern football. No one has been over and back more than Jalen Hurts.
I like this. I almost think this needs to be there needs to be the "it's so over" of the year, which is Tua. The "we're so back" of the year, which we're still arguing Patriots. And then the "it's so over and we're so back" of the year is Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Or the Steelers.
Or it's the fucking Steelers.
It's Mike Tomlin. It's Mike Tomlin and Jalen Hurts fighting it out.
Literally, it was like a weekly thing. Craig is either completely in, Rodgers is the god, he's making every throw, to God, I fucking hate this team. They suck. Let's fire Tomlin.
And to be honest with you, like every single one was not performative.
I know,
I felt it every week naturally.
It was genuine.
I should say one more button on Kyle Pitts. This is just hilarious. So this is now Kyle Pitts is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth season in the NFL. Season rookie year, 1 touchdown. Next year, 2. Year 3, he had 3. Year 4, he had 4. And this year, guess how many touchdowns he has?
5.
Unbelievable.
I have a wild guess for next year.
He's going to get franchised, and he'll be back.
He's going back there.
You know what?
He's going
Kirk Cousins is going to be throwing him passes, and he's going to be a top 5 tight end.
Let's tag him, I imagine, right?
Yeah, they'll tag him.
Yeah, they're going to tag him. Now for a special segment of today's episode, Smarter Moves, presented by Chime, here to help you bank smarter this season. Chime's got smarter moves for your money, and we've got smarter moves in your league. So, boys, I wanted to do another award here, presented by Chime. And I wanted to ask you smarter moves for next season. Basically, who is the guy that next year you had such fun watching this player and having him on your team that you're like, I have to have this guy next year, even if I frankly have to like pay an irrational amount?
For me, it's Jackson Smith and Jigba, who I know it's DK Seattle Seahawks, but I kind of randomly drafted him this year thinking, screw it. I'll throw a dart at JSN and see if that works out. And my goodness, I fell in love with this man. There's something so comforting about a team whose entire game plan is just centered around getting this one player the ball. Like the Seahawks can only operate if JSN has 10 catches in a game. And there's just something so comforting about that. It's like the opposite of, you watch like Jamison Williams or something on the Lions, and it's like the Lions could put up 40 and Jamison Williams could have 0 catches and it like might work out.
Right.
It's game plan dependent. Right. Like JSN is the sun for Seattle. And I just love watching that every week. And he's so great.
Yeah, the first guy that came to my mind also was JSN. If I'm going to do someone else, I do feel like this is a little bit like playing whack-a-mole because the Patriots are going to have so much harder schedule next year. But I didn't have any Drake May this year, and I have so much FOMO from not being a part of that whole thing. Just watching him like run around, score rushing touchdowns, hit big plays. I'm going to do everything I can to get as much Drake May as I can next year. It's probably going to go horribly, but you know, that's like what I did with Jaden Daniels this year and didn't go great. But I just absolutely love Drake May.
I hate to say it about a Patriot, but I think you're right. I think the guy for me, and I just decided this, and I'm being a prisoner of the moment. I don't care. It's Derrick Henry.
Hell yeah.
And let me tell you something. Everyone's going to talk about how he's 32, and the Ravens looked bad last year, and what's going to happen. I don't care. A classic Heifetz thing. Actually,
I don't care. We should do
the opposite.
We should have that
I don't care.
The Tommy Lee Jones. I don't care.
Oh my God, the fugitive. He's like, I didn't kill my wife. He's like, I don't care. That's actually great. We should do an I don't care episode.
It's we read stats to one another and then I just go, I don't
care. He's gonna be the oldest running back in NFL history. I don't care. No, but Derrick Henry, you know what? At some point, just like stop worrying and learn to love the indestructible running back who gets better as everyone else gets worse and healthier as everyone else gets injured. I want not to brag, but I won this dynasty league that I'm in with you guys and DK and your friends, and shout out Nate Tice and Sean Yu and all these people. And I won it. The margin is almost exactly just what Derrick Henry scored.
I know. I looked that up last night, Heifetz. I got second in the league. So just watching Derrick Henry not only run roughshod over my winnings, I had to lose those winnings to Heifetz. It was a dark moment for me. It was tough. And then I lost by 36. I think Derrick Henry scored 41 or something like that in half
45.
PPR.
See, DK, that's why the key is to be nestled in mediocrity like myself. I'm
You just don't
I'm the
care.
Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
I'm just playing a different sport than you guys.
We didn't talk about this on the Sunday show. My favorite part of the Derrick Henry Packers game was actually not with the Derrick Henry running. It was the last carry at like 192 yards. And it was like third down, and they just decided, you know what, instead of kneeling the ball that win the game, we're just going to give them one more play. And they called someone called the timeout, and they cut the camera to the sideline, and it's Lamar Jackson who's out and DeAndre Hopkins. And they're just sitting there laughing and pointing. And like the play calls in, and they're just sitting there like, dude, he's going to get it. And like you can read their lips, and they're like, he's going to get it. And then they just do the toss, and Derrick Henry runs for a 40-yard touchdown. They cut back to Duke Hopkins, and Lamar, they're freaking out. And I'm like, they're like incredible players, MVPs. DeAndre Hopkins is like the most receiving yards. And they're just sitting here like they can't believe they get to watch Derrick Henry and be teammates with him. I want him on my team next year. I don't care.
I do love Derrick Henry.
You know how there's like haptics on your phone when you can send like a text that does like a shake or like lasers and like your phone like vibrates? That's what it feels like every time Derrick Henry runs. It feels like the world is shaking a little bit.
It's like an Amber Alert.
Right. It's like, God damn it. Every time he touched the football in that game, I was just like, oh God, don't just fucking tackle him. Why is it so hard? I mean, I know why it's hard, but yeah, that was brutal.
All right, that's it for this week's edition of Smarter Moves. But remember, if you want to make your smartest move yet, switch to Chime. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided by the Bancorp Bank NA or Stride Bank NA, members FDIC. Learn more at chime.com.
Okay, the next category here is the Ruffalo-Hanna-Rubinek-Patridge Overacting Award. For our purposes, that is, who is fool's gold? Who had the crazy over-the-top plays this year but isn't actually good?
Hold on, Craig. For the Rewatchables, when you get to this category, you play a montage. Can you just do your impression of those
I was
people
actually going to
overacting?
ask.
Yes.
They knew!
First, wait, I want to ask you guys. I'll Venmo either of you $10 right now if you can tell me which 4 movies these characters are in.
Well, Spotlight's the first one, right?
Correct, Mark Ruffalo.
Like, they knew!
And then, also, some of these are tricky because Ruffalo is the name of the actor, but Hannah is the name of the character.
Hannah's the Heat when he's like, give me all you got, isn't it?
Correct.
Give me all you got, which actually is insane.
Vincent Hanna played by Al Pacino. You're 2 for 2.
I don't know the other ones.
Rubinek, what's that?
Rubinek is Saul Rubinek, which is a character in True Romance.
Oh.
And he goes, you stabbed me in the heart. I treated you like a son.
I know
you
that.
stabbed me in the heart. And then, do you know Partridge? You know what that is?
A bird.
It's Linda Partridge from the movie Magnolia, played by Julianne Moore. And she goes, don't you call me lady. I come in here to you.
Craig, do you have any, as long as we're talking about this, do you have any other movie, like very famous lines that you're just like, that was too much? Yeah, that you would add to this list?
I do remember, have you seen the movie Cape Fear? It's a Scorsese movie.
Very long time ago.
There's a Nick Nolte, Jessica Lange scene that is just out of control. That would have been my 5th nomination.
You know what I've always thought for some reason is, and I think it was in The Dark Knight. It was the one with Bane. Which version of
Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. And it was the guy who played Littlefinger. I don't remember the actor's name. And he's like in the plane and he's like yelling the whole scene. I was like, what is this guy's deal? Is he supposed to be a good actor? I thought he was a good actor. He's like, what is like, I can't remember all his lines, but he was just like yelling the whole time. I was like, this acting is really weird.
Christopher Nolan said that, at least at the time, he said that was like his favorite scene he's ever shot, which I think is so funny because he was so obsessed with the dynamics of how do you get a plane underneath the plane and shoot it that I was like, he didn't read the fucking dialogue, which is the dumbest shit ever. The movie starts with Baby like, why would you shoot a man and throw him off a plane? And I'm like, why would you shoot a man and throw him off the plane? Why does the movie start this way? That's the dumbest thing a person would ever do.
That whole scene is bizarre.
It's ridiculous.
You know the meme of like, they expect one of us in the wreckage. Have you seen like the new meme about that with the Odyssey?
Yes.
It says they expect none of us in the horse.
They expect none of us in the horse.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so good.
Okay, anyway, let's get to it. So like I said, this is, for our purposes, this is the Fool's Gold Player of the Year. The guy who had the over-the-top plays, scored a lot of fantasy points, but we know they're not actually good. I think this has to go to Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Every
fun
year.
while it lasted.
Has he won this like 3 years in a row? I
Yes.
feel like we have to add Flacco. It's the Ruffalo-Hanna-Rubinek-Patridge Flacco Award.
He's the Nicolas Cage of the NFL. Just being ridiculous characters in movies and doing it over and over and over.
It's so funny because I think when people look back, like the Bengals trading the Browns trading Joe Flacco to the Bengals, and people will look back and be like, well, Joe Flacco, he ended up winning, like we went 1-5, so that didn't work. Didn't matter. But you look at the games and you're like, Joe Flacco averaged 33 points a game in his first 4 games. Like he came back, he played the Packers, he'd been there 3 days and didn't go well. The next 3 games, he scored 113 points in a 3-game span.
Mike Tomlin has every right to be fucking pissed about this trade because there's a very real chance that if the Steelers lose to the Ravens this week and not make the playoffs, it's because Joe Flacco got traded to the Bengals and beat the Steelers in a 39-38 shootout that if it was Jake Browning, the Steelers would have probably won, and this game this weekend would have not mattered.
So what you're saying is maybe Andrew Berry is smarter than Mike Tomlin.
Should have beat
him twice.
Beat the freaking Bengals then. Stop
The
crying about
Steelers
it.
losing to the Browns in week 17 and then not winning the division because they lost to the Bengals earlier would actually be incredible.
It would be.
But yeah, it's Flacco.
though. Okay.
Well, I think the only other guy that you could include here is Jacoby Brissett, who, I mean, just from a fantasy point of view, love him. He did great. He made Trey McBride one of the most valuable pieces in fantasy. He made Michael Wilson one of the most valuable pickups in fantasy. He was amazing. And actually, I started Jacoby Brissett after I had injuries at quarterback in a bunch of different leagues. He kind of flamed out at the end there and really didn't give you what you were hoping in the playoffs. But I think from a fantasy point of view, he was awesome.
He was.
I don't think he's very good. Like, he's not actually that good of a quarterback, but he puts up numbers. They pass a ton. He was 1-10 as a starter this year, though.
Dude, he's
but
all-time garbage time stats season. Like 1-10. Dude, Jacoby Brissett's 15th in passing yards this season. He played 11 games. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, it's Flacco because the highs were higher, but Jacoby Brissett, I believe, not his first 9 games, his first 8 games as a starter, he had between 19 and 24 fantasy points. Like, he was rock solid.
He was, Craig, from week 6 when he became the starter to week 15. So, like, basically not the playoffs. He was the QB4 in that.
Trey McBride is the number 1 tight end because of,
maybe it's Brissett.
But that's, again, that stat of Trey McBride, the gap between him and number 2 Kyle Pitts is bigger than the gap between Pitts and, like, number 30, whoever it was.
Cade Otton,
Cade Otton. That's because of Brissett. Because Trey McBride had more touchdowns in a month with Brissett than he did in 3 years with Kyler. And then the other thing is Michael Wilson. It's like you picked Jackson Smith and Jig Webb off waivers in week 10. That's Jacoby Brissett.
Dude, wild.
Yeah. And they won 1 game.
Maybe it's Brissett.
The other one is, we have to talk about Phil Rivers, which they didn't win any games or anything, and it wasn't great for fantasy, but I don't know what this award
It sure
means.
was funny, though.
I don't know what award we're giving Phil Rivers, but...
It's the Make-A-Wish Foundation Award, I think.
Make a wish for old retired guys in midlife crises who just need healthcare. That's my unanswerable question was just how much money would the out-of-pocket cost for Phil Rivers' 11 kids' healthcare have been if he had let it lapse?
$12,000 a month. He gets it for another 5 years now? Is that what it is?
Yes. 5-year clock.
God, that's like worth a lot of money.
So smart.
That's what I'm saying.
That's worth like a cool mill right there.
I love that he's not playing this week because like the Colts are out of playoff contention. There's just something funny about that he's like, I'm good. See you later.
Well, I'm gonna go coach my football team now.
Fades into like
He
light.
just disappears into the cornfields, like Field of Dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
So wait, is it Flacco or is it Brissett? I kind of think it's Brissett.
I don't know what this award means. If it's to like
overactor, I think it's Brissett because he might end up being the starter for the Cardinals next year if they move on from Kyler. And I don't think he like really helps them win. I mean, I do think he's probably makes them a little bit better.
That's not what it's about though. Like he was the QB4 for half of the fantasy football season and he's not that good. That's it.
There you go.
Cut Jacoby Brissett in our dynasty league because I was like, because again, Jacoby Brissett was so bad a year ago in the Patriots that all Bill would talk about was how bad Brissett was and then Drake May came in and May was amazing. And I remember thinking that even if Kyler gets hurt, I don't think Brissett will be that good. And then Brissett came in and was, straight up a top 5 quarterback, propelling a top 3 receiver and the number 1 tight end.
Yeah, and this is like a good example, and this is why I do this in almost all my leagues is no matter who it is, almost no matter who it is, I always pick up the quarterbacks that are coming in to like take care or to take over for injured guys, just because something like this could happen.
You never know.
Like you actually never really know with these guys.
Right. Brissett and Michael Wilson can become the next Joe Burrow and
Yeah.
Jamar Chase.
And I thought I was smart adding Mariota instead of Brissett, and then here I am like an idiot.
All right. Next category here is the quote of the year. We did just mention, Heifetz, you've compiled a lot of these, but Mike Tomlin talking about it. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me about the Joe Flacco trade. Definitely is one of them, but do you want to read through a couple of these?
Let me roll through these. So I had so much fun doing this, and I want to go through players and then coach. We can start with coaches, actually. But the coach quotes are so funny to me. So Tomlin having Andrew Berry must be smarter than me, because that does make a lot of sense.
I really do love the format of that comment. He must be a lot smarter than me. It's just such a backhanded thing.
Patronizing. Yeah.
We should rank people to get a beer with in the NFL. Tomlin quietly might be number one because of his ability to just like say shit like that and take a swig.
That reminds me of Heifetz when we were getting steaks in Indianapolis one year, and Tomlin was eating at the table next to us.
We couldn't get into St. Elmo's, so Ruth's Chris was next door and empty, and we went in and we sit down. We're just next to all the Steelers coaches, and then it was that year that they switched.
Craig,
the
you would have
timer.
loved that shit.
Craig, I'm so sad you weren't there because that was the year the NFL Network, the timer guy retired, who had done the timer on the broadcast for 20 years.
Yes.
He retired, and there was a new guy.
Everyone was running 4-1s.
We thought Chris Olave broke the 40-yard dash record, so Mike Tomlin's doing the hold me back, like what? And they couldn't. Yeah. We're all sitting there like freaking out. I mean, not with Tomlin, but we were like next to him, and they couldn't.
We were all
it.
doing the same. We were all the same. We were like, oh my god,
Olave ran a 4-2. Anyway, yeah, fun guy. Okay, other quotes here. The reporter asking Cardinals coach Jonathan Gannon, "Coach, when did you learn you had to take the emotion out of coaching?" And Jonathan Gannon, stone-faced, says, 2007, when our quarterback went to jail. Whew. About Michael Vick.
Okay.
Mike McDaniel in training camp saying the reporter said, good morning. He said, no, it's a great morning. They're like, why? He's like, because we're another day closer to death.
It's real.
DK really gets that one.
Nihilism.
Though I were tickled by all the Mike McDaniel too and stuff, but the player stuff, I have to shout out AJ Brown saying, if you have me in fantasy, get rid of me on a live stream.
And then he went off.
Number 5 receiver in fantasy after he said that.
Yeah, classic.
Unbelievable.
Also related, Breece Hall, a personal favorite of mine, after the Jets blew another lead, he said, that's the story of our season. Teams shoot themselves in the foot, and then we come back and shoot ourselves in the head. Maybe the winner here is Isaiah Likely saying, we ass as fuck.
Yeah.
Yelling
that as he's like walking to his car.
We
team bus.
At fans after they lost. He's like, we ass as fuck. You're like, what? He's like, we ass as fuck.
He's like, oh, sorry, they didn't hear me. Hold on. We ass as fuck.
And then they were like, what again? He's like, this shit is ass as fuck. It's like, what is it? Back to the Future's yelling in the phone. He's like, get a load of this.
Where is my super suit? It's fucking incredible. That's what
we ass as fuck. Joe Flacco saying, I used to see guys sitting at the bar by themselves eating, and I used to feel so bad for them, and now I realize that dude was in heaven.
God, I love that.
That's something you can only say if you're over 40 years old.
Yeah. That's like a rite of passage in life.
The next two here, I got the sound drop because I thought they were so funny. Number one, the Browns defensive tackle Shelby Harris, after Jawan Jennings, the Niners receiver, was shit-talking Malik Collins as Malik Collins was carted off for the Browns. And then Cam, I think, has this audio of Shelby Harris talking shit.
He's a hoe, and I want that known. Like, I see why he got punched in the nuts. Like, he says some things that you should not say to another man, ever. But, like, I don't respect it because you say that, then run behind your O-line. That's some real soft shit. And I want that known. I see exactly why they punched your nuts. I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
He's a hoe.
I want that known.
I want that known is great.
I want that known is it's a good line.
We should, that might have to be a category next Sunday. It's like, I want that known.
I want that known. He says some shit to another man that should never be said, ever.
He's calling him a hoe.
I see why he got punched. Say about that specific thing. He a hoe. I want that known. I see why he got punched in the nuts. You don't even need context. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
The other one, we've never talked about this, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, so I'm just going to play it. This is Devin McCourty on Mike Florio's podcast a month ago, and I think it was Thanksgiving. We never talked about this. Cam, will you please play this clip? This is about Devin McCourty's describing Mike Florio asked Devin McCourty, what's it like inside a scrum when everyone's going for the ball on a fumble? Like, what do you have to do to recover a fumble? This was Devin McCourty's answer.
Here's the protocol. All right, ball's on the ground. You're jumping and you're diving on the ball. You're going to protect every ball. Listen to this. You're going to jump on the ball, get on the football, get into fetal. But once you get into fetal, close your mouth, close your eyes, squeeze your butt cheeks. The fetal protects 2 balls, your arms protect another one, and close the butt cheeks. The bottom of those piles are rough, Florio. It is rough at the bottom of the pile.
Once again, kind of glad I don't play professional football.
You know what's so funny? We spend so much time talking about all this stuff and what matters or not. And then I saw some clip of like Patrick Surtain has a podcast now and they're talking with Richard Sherman. They were like, so what's the secret? Like what helped you play better? And I'm thinking coverage, technique, scheme. And they're like, dude, I was wearing underwear and I was going slow. So I just let it all hang out now. Started playing way better.
No underwear below the pants?
They were saying they're just free ball it. And like Ryan Arnold was talking about how he's like rookie year, you just got all the equipment. And then eventually you get older. You're like, nah, I'm just going to let it fucking hang. And then you run faster.
Interesting.
Sometimes it's not that complicated.
Do you guys sleep in underwear or no?
Yeah.
As opposed to like naked?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, I wear boxers.
Do you
You're a
sleep?
boxer
Do you
guy?
sleep naked?
Mhm.
No, I don't sleep naked. I wear boxer briefs.
You wear boxer briefs to bed?
Yeah.
That's too constricting for me.
Well, I buy ones that aren't that constricting.
Okay, that's fair.
Well,
I was just thinking about this. Just reminds me of there's like so much better technology now in terms of like sport clothes now, like Under Armour and all this stuff that you can wear, you know, like the whatever it's compression stuff.
Yeah.
And in my high school, like I was wearing boxers under my basketball shorts.
Nasty.
Like,
Dude, back in the day, people were wearing boxers and Converse on the basketball
Yeah.
court. Which just
okay, I'm not that old, but yeah. Dude, the videos of people playing basketball in like the 40s and 50s are so funny. Like the basketball skills were horrific.
dude, the whole Smush Parker would run circles around Oscar Robertson thing.
I mean, it's like you know the scene from The Office where Stanley plays basketball, the way he
Like all the
dribbles. Like
highlights.
that's how they all fucking dribbled.
Bob Cousy.
Because they were
Yeah.
plumbers and electricians.
Dude, I can't get over the fact that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played well into his early 40s and continued to be good, playing in like Chuck Taylor's for 25 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
If I did that for a week, I think I would go to the hospital.
Oh my god!
Imagine your feet just calloused.
Oh.
They were built diff back then. Though,
Kareem's 7 feet tall for 25 years playing in Converse.
His feet were just like hard as rocks.
All right, what are some of the quotes? Do we
I
have
think
more?
I think the winner has to be "He's a hoe" and I want that known.
Yeah,
I
Shelby
like that.
Harris.
I think that has to be the quote of the year. He's a hoe. I want that known. I see we got punched.
So
in the
yeah,
mouth.
he's a hoe. I want that known.
We had to create a new one, which is also just best announcer moment of the year.
Sure.
And
Oh, there's some good ones.
Yep.
Craig, I'm going to make you do some of these, but Tom Brady, there's so many, but I decided it was the one where he's like a little juice, which
Yeah. Do we have that queued up or you want me to just do it?
I
'Cause
want you to
remember
do it. It's funnier when you do it.
Great. Yeah. So I believe it was the Chargers playing the Commanders. And he goes, a little juice there for the Commanders defense. They feel the juice. The Chargers do. I'm like
Yoda.
once again, he's literally
He does
Yoda.
talk like Yoda.
Yes, he does.
Craig said that last time too.
Oh
It's
my
so funny. They feel the juice the Chargers do.
He does not know what the next word will be out of his mouth. He says they feel the juice and is like, I got no. How do I clean this up? And then has to go out. And then has to
He's
land
the
on
one
the
who
Chargers
he's
do.
speaking with semicolons.
Also calling Josh Allen big booty quarterback. Josh Allen.
Remember when
Honorable
when he said piss missile? It was almost a good moment.
Discovering that the word absolute was his verbal crutch, I really enjoyed.
It unlocked a lot
That
for
was a
what we're doing
discovery
here.
this year.
I can't believe he wore one glove. Did we get an explanation on that? Did he lose his other glove?
I doubt he lost.
I honestly, it's probably the mic's cold. I don't know, or he's a super villain.
The mic is cold. He's
I
like,
don't
I
know.
don't like the feeling
don't
of cold metal on my skin.
It burns me.
It said last one. He's like, I'm very sensitive to impure metals. Anyway, the other announcer moments here, dude. Eric Collins just screaming "Dowdle."
Dowdle!
Look at this! Dowdle! Still on his feet!
He speaks with so much more passion than anybody I've ever heard.
Hell yeah.
I honestly want to meet him more than anybody else involved in professional football. I want to
Yeah.
meet that guy. I want him on the show.
feet. He's great.
Do we
You guys-
isolate Dowdle? Yeah, you make that one more time. What did you?
It kind of sounds like a cat screeching.
Oh shit! That's
Screaming
really
into
good.
the abyss. It's like Bing Bong and
With the guts of a cat burglar.
oh my God, the guts of a cat burglar. Similarly, Gus Johnson announcing the Indiana touchdown this year. Oh my God,
Mendoza in trouble. It's out. Touchdown. Wow. Omar Cooper. Unbelievable. Give him the Heisman Trophy now.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Hey, Gus has another one. I think we need to get those two in a room because they're just fans
It's like nuclear fission.
who have a microphone, you
Yeah.
know? Mendoza under pressure, and then he just goes, "Woo!"
The way he says Mendoza is almost better than Stroud.
Mendoza. Yeah. Mendoza under pressure. Ah!
dude, the way he does it, it's like the last gasp of oxygen leaving his breath.
Omar Cooper.
Can we play that? I'm sorry. Can we do that one more time? I have to hear that one more time.
Mendoza in trouble. It's out.
It's out.
Touchdown. Wow. Omar Cooper. Unbelievable.
Omar
Give him the Heisman Trophy now.
Give him the Heisman Trophy now.
They're in trouble. So good.
Looking.
There's moments where he sounds like the famous boxing announcer guy that's standing in this corner.
Oh, Buffer, Bruce Buffer.
Yes, he sounds like him a little bit.
Is Bruce Buffer eating beignets?
Wasn't there one Super Bowl where I was in a hotel gym next to Bruce Buffer on the treadmill?
Maybe it's probably Michael Buffer.
There's
Maybe it's
Michael
his
Buffer.
brother who does the
UFC.
fight night stuff, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Underrated, incredible niche they locked down there. Incredible work by them.
It's
Time. Bruce is better than Michael. That's my
The
hottest
microphone
take.
No.
hanging from the
Yes, he
ceiling
is.
is like one
Wait,
of the
which one's
coolest
which?
inventions.
Dude, we should do that for our show. We should hang the mics from the ceiling.
Dude,
I guess
the mic from the ceiling is sick.
When you pull it, yeah, that's kind of I'm into that.
like we just
The
did that.
Italian Stallion, Rocky Balboa. I love that. That's
Wait,
the
Hyphens,
best.
are you saying it's time is better? Let's get ready to rumble.
I think it surpassed that. I think Bruce
No.
Buffer. Well, it's like a James Cook,
No.
Dalvin Cook situation. Like you look up
Can
one
you
day, and you're like, is
do
Bruce
the
better
it's
at
time?
this?
Can you do it?
It's time.
That's, I mean, it is pretty good. It is good, but let's get ready to rumble. Is
Let's get a Rumble is
unbeatable.
iconic.
Let's
Yeah,
get ready to rumble.
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun,
Dude,
dun, dun, dun.
How many times I like played basketball to like let's get ready to rumble. Oh,
There's like a
God.
siren in the background. Oh.
Oh god, those guys honestly pretty incredible.
It's
Also
great
love
that
hot dog
the
guy,
two
4th of
brothers
July.
made their careers out of just like one catchphrase each.
Just
Oh.
sang one line.
the dream.
Super smart. All right, let's move on here.
Wait, what's the winner? What's the winner for announcer moment?
Oh,
Oh,
I
I will.
think
Can I just
we
throw on a
need-
couple others here just to
Yeah.
mention? We have to mention Chris Collinsworth saying, "You know, my dad's name was Abraham Lincoln."
I gotta
my
say,
God,
I
dude.
think that might win, dude. That really made the rounds.
That is so funny.
My dad's name's Abraham Lincoln.
Isn't that how we discovered Buzz Nutter?
Yeah, I think, yes, it is how we discovered Buzz Nutter.
The sliding doors moment, Craig.
Oh
right.
my god.
I think I want to give it to Chris Collinsworth. You know,
Yeah.
and then because then Tarico
He's like,
went,
what?
What?
It was all of us. What?
Abraham
It's so-
Lincoln Collinsworth.
That was also so great because sometimes they set stuff up, like Tom Brady talking about milk, and they're like, "Hey Tom, I heard you also milking the clock. You milk cows, right?" And it's obvious. Tarico so clearly did not know that.
Yeah, you know, my dad. How did that never come up before? They've been doing this for like 20 years. I say on the other side of the coin here, like the Al Michaels just mailing it in thing is really funny to me. Like I will always remember him calling the Rashid Shaheed return touchdown against the Rams. Rashid Shaheed fields the punt. He's like at the 15 about to score, and
He's
he
like,
says fields the punt.
Working his way down the sideline.
He's like about to score.
Crucial moment in the comeback.
Al was just
Rashid-
checking his bets.
Shaheed, it's like they had to use like jumper cables midway through there just to get him going a little bit.
Okay. Next award here is the Cloyce Box Name of the Year. This is a new award.
Ooh.
We often go back and look at old NFL rosters. We love finding old-timey names that don't exist anymore. I think we've landed on 4 names that we discovered this year that are under contention. I will list them off here, and then we can decide on who we believe is the name of 2025 that we discovered. We have Cub Buck.
The way that Craig says it.
Cub Buck.
Cub Buck.
Cub Buck. The next nominee here is Jug Erp. These are real people.
Jug Herb. We were like, why do you
Herb.
call Jug? And they're like, well, his head looks like a jug.
You know how like at the Oscars they have like the guy who won Best Actor last year read the nominee. I wish we could have had like Cloyce Box read this year's
You
nominees.
should do AI have like recreate it like they did with Al Davis.
We're not that far off from that. Yeah.
No, we're not. Next up, a rare modern entry, Fish Brosmer, the brother of Max Brosmer. Fish. We think we don't have evidence to suggest that his legal name is not Fish.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with Fish Brosmer, and then rounding it out as we just mentioned, Buzz Nutter.
I'm actually proud of us. None of us to this point have said Nutter. I barely know her.
Right. So the Cloyce Box Name of the Year award goes to who in your mind?
Buzz Nutter.
I gotta
Buzz
tell
Nutter.
you, Buzz Nutter's funny, but I think Jug Herb. I
Fuck,
think
was
it's
gonna say
Jug
Cub Buck.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, Cub Buck. There's like there's something linguistic about Cub Buck with
Cub
the Cub
Buck.
Buck. It's like the BB right next to each other.
Cub Buck.
Cub Buck. It's like a loop. For some reason, I see like
Cub Buck.
a W there, or boobs.
This is a true battle here at the top. I don't know who deserves it.
I'm changing my answer to Cub Buck.
Maybe we put a poll in Spotify or we'll do a poll.
Yeah, who deserves Best Name of the Year? We just put all four up, really.
Buzz Nutter.
But Buzz Nutter's crazy.
Yeah.
He was a
Buzz
center in the 50s.
So we'll do a vote on this, I think.
Yeah.
And then what are some of the other ones just to like remind people? So there was like Whizzer White,
Whizzer White, Cloyce
Whizzer
Box,
White,
obviously.
Cloyce
Milt
Box.
Plum,
Milt
Beady
Plum.
Feathers.
Beady Feathers.
Right.
There's lots of dicks. We talked about Dick Bong, one of the great American fighter pilot
Sam Darnold's
aces.
great uncle. Yeah, Dick Bong. Who's
What?
Highway. Major
I forgot
Dick
about that. Dick Bong.
Major
Wait, Dick Bong is related to Sam Darnold?
Oh no, that's just a different major. Darnold uncle Dick Bong. Darnold's uncle's Dick Hammer. Dick Hammer.
Dick Hammer?
Dick
Oh my
Hammer.
God.
Basketball player at USC. Competed in volleyball at the
Dick
64
Hammer.
Summer Olympics. Played
Wow.
Captain Richard Dick Hammer in the TV series Emergency.
And he was also a firefighter.
And he was a Marlboro man.
Oh yeah, he was the Marlboro man. Dick Hammer.
Dick Hammer. And then also while we're here, we're going to do a FanDuel ad. We actually convinced FanDuel to let us do an ad where we get to just name old players. I don't know how we did this, but we FanDuel's like, you want to do an ad? We're like, could we do one where we name old players? So FanDuel is now live in Missouri. And to celebrate, we're going to go back to the start. We're taking a look at the mighty 1960 Dallas Texans, aka the 1960 Kansas City Chiefs, because of Missouri. So yeah, shout out to FanDuel for letting us do an ad where we get to name players. So I pulled up some of our favorite players in the 1960 Dallas Texans, aka Kansas City Chiefs. Bo Dickinson,
Okay.
Jack Spikes,
Great name.
Oh yeah, Jack Spikes.
Tony Romeo. Which sounds like a guy in the Goodfellas montage. He's like, oh yes, Tony Romeo.
Yeah, there's Jimmy two times, Tony Romeo.
Yeah, it's Tony Romeo. Jimmy
After
a
he got
lover,
to
not a
Ellis
fighter.
Island,
Yeah.
It was Tony Romo, and now that's how he Tony Romo. He took out the E.
Exactly. Smokey Stover.
Ooh, that's nice.
There's a guy named Hatch.
Okay. Dude, Hatch is a good name.
Hatch. Hatch is great.
Hatch.
But I want to shout out one guy named Cheryl Hedrick, and I want to shout him out because I want to tell you a little bit into his Wikipedia. So
Okay.
shout out Cheryl Hedrick. I learned this looking up Smokey Stover. And so Cheryl Hedrick, while working in the West Texas and New Mexico oil fields during the offseason in 1960,
of course.
I know, he became one of the first.
That real man strength.
I know. We used to be a country. He became one of the first players to sign with the Dallas Texans, who became the Chiefs in 1960 as an undrafted free agent. In Hedrick's first year as a linebacker with the Texans, he set the standard for playing hurt. Despite feeling pain in his neck after a pregame collision, Hedrick played the entire
collision.
game. Pregame collision. Maybe it was with a Mack truck.
They're just doing the Oklahoma drill for warm-ups.
They were probably sprinting at one another from 100 yards apart.
So he learned 5 days later that he had actually fractured his vertebrae in his neck before the game. And then he played the next game without missing any time which earned him the nickname Psycho. So Hedrick was actually known as Psycho for the rest of his career after that. He was called Psycho Hedrick.
And now that's Cam Scattaboo has taken on that nickname.
His legacy lives on.
Yeah.
Dude, Hank Stram said that Hedrick played once, broken neck, infected gums, and a fractured thumb, and that he broke his bone in his finger.
Gums. Teeth. He was on the injury report with teeth.
Psycho Hedrick broke a bone in his finger, the bone was sticking out, and he just put it back in his skin.
Oh, it was like compound fracture?
Yes. And just
Good Lord.
So yeah, we used to be men.
I will say, in all the talk that we've done about funny names, the one person that keeps getting sent to me on Twitter and stuff, Dick Shiner.
Dick Shiner, Dick Hammer, Major
Dick
Bob.
Hammer.
We can't overstate that it's not just Cloyce box, but it's also Boyce box and Fern box.
Yeah, that's the whole family.
As a family, they win.
Exactly. Like Champ Bailey, Boss Bailey, and Michael. So
Fern,
all timer.
Watching Craig discover these names in real time. There's
Do you think we have a single listener named Fern?
If you're named Fern and you can prove it, email us. We're gonna have so many questions.
If you can prove it.
If you prove it. All right, remember, FanDuel's now live in Missouri, and they're celebrating with a ton of great promotions and rewards for everyone. So sign up today. Take advantage all week long. You don't want to miss out. And thank you to FanDuel for letting us do a FanDuel ad where we got to talk about Cloyce box.
All right, next award here. This is the Deadest Dove Do Not Eat Award for the most glaringly obvious thing you still fell for. For me, it is that I fell for that the Steelers might not go 9-8 with Aaron Rodgers. I fell for that.
The oldest trick in the book, Craig.
The oldest trick in the book.
I fell for the Giants might not go 2-10 this season.
Yeah. Mine didn't really have anything to do with my team, but I thought Bryce Young might actually be good.
Yeah.
Turns out no.
Classic.
He's not. Also, I drafted Jalen Waddle like an idiot.
We fucking told you.
I know, you guys told me. I kind of did it. It was a little bit rebellious of me. I just wanted to prove you guys wrong. And
you opened the
dunk on
freezer.
you
Saw the bag. It said Jalen Waddle's 2025. You're like, oh, let's do it.
What's your return policy?
All right. Next up here, we had the most rewatchable play of 2025. I believe I have my answer. Which rewatchable play? I think we should call this the best or most memorable play of the season.
To me, it doesn't get any better than when Jalen Hurts turns the ball over twice in one play.
Ooh.
Or worse, depending on how you're looking at it.
Wow.
That's an all-timer. That's never happened before, as far as
it will never happen again.
Yeah.
It will never be broken.
2 turnovers in one game. I'll remember this when I'm old. When I'm like 65, I'll remember that play.
If it happened to like Matt Stafford, big deal. The fact that it was Jalen Hurts, I think, makes it even better.
He had like 3 turnovers to that point in the year.
Yeah. We had 5 that day?
Yeah. Yes. Did you have 5 that day? Yeah, a good day though.
I think it surpasses like the crazy Cardinals ending where Amari DeMarcado drops the ball at the goal line and then Cam Ward throws a pick that the Cardinals then fumble into the end zone and the Titans score a touchdown on a play the Cardinals intercepted them. That Max Brosmer's pick 6, all that goes away. I think the Jalen Hurts play, that is the worst play. That is the one I will remember the most.
Yes. I would the Puka week 13 catch is one of the best catches I've seen in a very long time, but 2 turnovers in one play.
I would argue the most memorable plays this year got erased by the Puka catch on Monday Night Football would have been it. And the other one was, frankly, the Amon-Ra St. Brown lateral to Jared Goff where he caught a touchdown and would have scored the winning touchdown as time expired on a pitch to Goff. And then the rest were like OPI.
But Amon-Ra committed an egregious OPI. So what can you do? You can't cheat. They're not going to let you. Okay.
By the way, they were playing the Steelers in that game.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The next award here, the worst coach moment of 2025.
I think that...
Oh, I know what it is.
Well, Brian Callahan saying he didn't know, like, an elbow's not 2 feet, and he was wrong for the catch rule is bad. Brian Dable going into the blue tent and yelling at them while Jackson Dart getting concussion tested was bad. I think Zach Taylor challenging a DJ Moore catch that turned it into a touchdown was bad.
That's it.
That was pretty bad.
That's the best one.
That he tried to get the ball back and they scored a touchdown.
I've never seen that.
That one's the best.
Was incredible.
One. I just love that. It was like the worst talk about your all-time backfire I've ever seen.
Aaron Glenn saying, I want this to be a team that fans are proud of, but again, I never said they were going to be proud of the Jets right now.
In fairness, okay.
To be fair.
You got me. However, I think it has to be worst coach moment of the year is Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss. I think that has to. I think that supersedes everything else. They're in the college football playoff hosting a home game, and he's just like, I'm going to go.
Zach Taylor challenging a play and then having it turn into a touchdown is fucking hilarious.
Wow, this is worse than I thought. Didn't even know you could do that.
You could have done nothing and you would have been better off, pal.
Okay, the next award here is probably unanswerable questions from the season. Heifetz, you said you had one you specifically wanted to pose.
Yeah, so you know how the Steelers lost to the Browns last week? It didn't score a touchdown, even though if you had won that game, you would have just won the division.
Yeah.
Do you think the Steelers would have won if Rodgers didn't spend so much time going through the Epstein files last week?
Wow.
For doing his own research, you're saying?
Yes, I quite literally, like, the people, like, Tired is thinking that Aaron Rodgers spent too much time worrying about Myles Garrett breaking the sack record, and Wired is actually Aaron Rodgers was fucking just copy and pasting all the redacted stuff in the Epstein files and being like, do they want me to find this? Do you think they unredacted it on purpose? Why is it like this?
He's more focused on bigger issues than this silly game that we talk about.
Playing a kid's game out here.
Yeah.
He's trying to eat soup with forks.
That's right. He's looking, he's got a bigger windshield than rear view. All right, next up here, next award. You know, in the Rewatchables, there's an award called Apex Mountain, which is kind of who's at the top of their powers right now, who's at the peak of their powers. We actually like the opposite. We like the Kyle Pitts Death Valley Award for who is having the nadir of their career, both professionally and personally right now, although we may have to change it from Kyle Pitts. But I have a list for you guys. I could start.
Please.
This is a spicy one. I like.
It's an important category.
Patrick Mahomes, era Chiefs.
Yeah.
By far.
Just by default.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's never had. He's literally. This is probably the hardest year of his entire life.
It's never been benched.
He didn't lose a game in high school.
Right.
Losing your offensive play caller and thinking you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Lions, Bucks, Eagles. Tough.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Good one.
John Harbaugh.
Probably.
Has it ever been worse for John Harbaugh?
Yeah. Well, he was almost fired
2015.
a few years
bad.
back. Yeah.
2018, he was on the hot seat. That's why they played Lamar in the first place. But no, this is pretty bad. If they lose to the Steelers,
Faith is at an all-time low.
Is this Tua's Death Valley, or was it the injury?
It was probably when he was very visibly concussed on the TV broadcast at one time. That was pretty brutal.
The multiple times that happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig's like doing the Seinfeld, like scratching.
That's probably fair.
Like, oh, yeah.
What about Bill Belichick?
I think that's the one.
Unquestioned. We might have to rename the award after him.
Dude, Belichick has done more damage to his legacy this year. I can't, there's no comparison.
What is more embarrassing? Like the Jordan Hudson stuff not only being true, but actually being way more true than any of us could have realized of how much he's running his life and how much like she has taken control of everything he's doing versus just absolutely getting fucking boat raced in the ACC.
It's got to be Belichick, man.
Is it Apex Mountain for being whipped?
Wow. Wow.
It's like hard though, Craig, because he's really old.
Whipped
he's really old and she's young.
I mean, there are so many really, really old, like senile rich people, like Sumner Redstone, who are just basically getting tricked into like paying his multiple girlfriends money. But in terms of like coherent, lucid men, he might be the most
like
whipped.
He's like allowing her to like make decisions about North Carolina football.
Yes.
That's tough.
I don't know who's more whipped. Email us if there's anybody
who's been more whipped
than Bill Belichick.
Email us at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com. That's pretty good.
Saving Silverman. Great movie.
Do you guys have any other nadirs?
Sharon
Pete
Moore.
Carroll?
Sure. Yes, Sharon Moore.
Sure, Heifetz, yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say Pete Carroll, but he's been fired a few times. I don't know.
No, Patriots probably, because this is sad for Pete, but like the Patriots getting fired, Pete Carroll was like, no one, he was like, he's never going to be anything.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, do you think the cheating scandal was worse for Pete Carroll than right now?
Possibly.
USC? No, because like that was bad, but like they had been so good, man.
Yeah.
Like they were. It's also so quaint in retrospect. They gave Reggie Bush an Escalade, and now it's like, damn, that was all you had to give Reggie Bush? That's crazy. You got him for $500,000? That's the contract of the year.
If you had to decide who is awarded the Kyle Pitts Death Valley of just this season, who would you give a team? if you had to pick a team that wins the Death Valley Award this season, I think there's 4 candidates. I think it's the Jets.
I think it's the Jets.
Who have 0 interceptions, and Brady Cook has started multiple games, which doesn't feel right. Brady Cook feels like one of those guys where it's like a 1-week experiment.
The Jets are like the living embodiment of it can always be worse.
You have the Raiders, who brought in Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly and Geno Smith, and they drafted Ashton Jeanty in the first round, Tom Brady, and they're going to have the first pick in the draft, and it's an unmitigated disaster. You have the Giants, who had Malik Willis tear his ACL, Cam Scatterboo, a major success, break his foot, out for the year. Jackson Dart can't stay healthy. They fire their coach midway through the season, and they can't even get first pick. Or the Indianapolis Colts, who were started 8-1 and then didn't make the playoffs, and their quarterback broke his leg.
So as a Giants fan, I can confirm it's not the Giants, because the Giants are excited about Jackson Dart, and I'd take the Giants over the Jets right now 101 times out of 100. I feel bad for the Jets. I think Jets and Raiders fans are kind of dead inside, and I think the Colts getting that flicker
what is dead may never die.
Yeah, exactly. The Colts getting the flicker of, I think we're going to win the Super Bowl, and then literally finishing 1-7. Jones blows his Achilles. Yeah, you don't have picks. I think it's kind of the Colts, even more than like the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Jets have just been doing it for so long. It's like, what's another year?
I have to say though, I think the Jets no interception thing, I think that's the stat of the year.
So sad.
The Jets, so like they broke the record for any stretch of games over multiple seasons, but the record to start a season without interception, the longest any team had ever gone before without picks, was the Giants a couple years ago. It's 11 games in a row to start a year. The Jets have none. They're on the verge of a 17-game season without an interception, and they hired a cornerback as their head coach.
Quarterbacks against the Jets, 34 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
It's like the best season of all time.
Do we think so? The next category we had here was stat of the year. Do you think that's it? The 0 interceptions for the Jets? Certainly the most memorable, I think.
Yes.
I think it has to be. The Jets had no picks last year. Like if they finish that, surpasses Jamar Chase's stat line of 4 catches and 3 tackles.
Oh, that's good.
The Jake Browning special. Yeah, it's probably the Jets having 0 interceptions in an entire season. Okay. Next up here, we have the email of the year. Hi, Fitz.
I would like to give my personal favorite. I think the email of the year is from, name is redacted, but the guy who emailed in the story, and I'm going to tell it again for the first time if you guys remember, don't worry. But basically, he was out. It's like the late 90s. He's out at a club, and he meets this girl. He takes her back. He's like 23, and she's like older. She's like 35, and they hook up, and he's like, this is like the best sex of my life. And they start hooking up for 4 or 5 months, and they have a great time, and then she's over. It's like Saturday, Sunday morning, and she picks up a Christmas card. She's like, how do you know these people? She's like, and he's like, those are my step siblings. She's like, how do you have this photo? He's like, there's step siblings. She's like, and she says, these are my children.
Oh my Lord.
And it turns out pre-internet, he had been hooking up with his stepfather's first wife for months.
And then he never heard from her again.
And then she walked out and they never talked ever again.
How is that not like a 90s movie with Michael Douglas? I feel like that should have been made. That's
should.
Too good.
We should make that.
Thank you, Redacted.
Do we own the rights technically?
I'll get in touch. We should. That would be an incredible beginning to a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And then they're just at Christmas together.
A few more here. Every Rewatchable is right before Who Won the Movie. They usually do the Coach Finstock life lesson of the year. Do we have a lesson of this year?
To quote, I forget if it was Shane Battier or AJ Brown who said this, but if you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw, don't make a scene, shrug your shoulders and be on your way.
Is that AJ Brown?
And the Bible. But yes.
AJ Brown,
Bible.
quote, the Bible.
The Bible, AJ Brown.
Mark, in his letter to the Corinthians.
Do you guys know the quote? So do you know who Coach Finstock is?
No.
He's the coach from the movie Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox. Here's the coach. Here's his quote. This is what he says in the movie. His 3 rules to a successful life. Get at least 12 hours of sleep.
12?
Yep. Don't play cards with someone whose first name is a city. And avoid women with dagger tattoos.
Fair.
Iconic.
It's just, the sage wisdom.
Don't play cards with somebody whose first name is a city. It's so good.
Tallahassee Stover. Like, I'm good.
Some guy named Dallas walks in. Nope, I'm out. All right. Drum roll, please. We're going to get to who won the year. So we started the episode with the fantasy MVP. This is different. This is more holistic. NFL generally. Who won the year, the 2025 NFL season? Heifetz, who do you have?
I think the winner of the year has to be the new guard. It's just Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. It is though.
No,
but it is. It's like it's.
I don't allow that.
I know, but it's Caleb.
Okay.
Fine.
You're going to name 8 people?
No, it's specifically it's new coaches with these quarterbacks. It's Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. It's Trevor Lawrence with Liam Cohen, and it's Mike Vrabel with Drake May. They've completely overtaken. Like it's been a total shift away from the Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson era, and they've just been kind of overthrown by like Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think that the story of the year, you could say it's the new coaching class or whatever, because you could add in Kellen Moore, who's done good things for.
I mean, did you mention Sean Payton and Bo Nix? They're gonna be the 1 seed.
No, and that's the thing. You throw whether you want to throw in Sean Payton with that, but yeah, if you include that, I mean, second year coaches like Bo Nix and Sean Payton overthrew Patrick Mahomes in the AFC West, and it's like Drake May overtook Josh Allen in the AFC East. I know it's one season, but it's also Josh Allen's gonna be 30 next year. Mahomes ACL 30. Lamar quietly gonna be like 30.
Mike McDonald
for the Seahawks. Like a lot of these guys, like the second and first year head coaches, I just think there is a sea change.
The new guard, I think there's something here.
I know it's a little stupid and kitschy, but I'm like, we're in between eras right now.
I agree with DK that is the story of the season. Unfortunately, the name of the category is who won the year. So you're right. Let's add another category called the story of the year, the story of the season, the narrative of the season. That is the new guard, unquestionably.
Fine. Then the winner is Shohei Ohtani, because for 2 weeks we talked about baseball on this fucking show, which has never happened before.
Carlos
Imagine if it's the Oscars and they're like, and the best actor goes to all 5 of them. What a year.
Fine. I pick Ohtani.
Okay. Well, you're not going to like my answer, Craig.
Who is it?
Generational prospects we gave up on.
You guys don't know how to follow rules. So Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, who else?
Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
That's about it.
Okay. I think it's Drake May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably has
He
to
won
be.
the year.
Yeah.
If you have to pick one person, I agree with Heifetz that it like generally it is like this new era, this new wave that has like stormed into the NFL while the old guard is kind of waning. But I think if you have to pick one person inside of that new wave, I would say it's either Drake May or Ben Johnson.
Dude, I know it's Drake May, because you know how you know it's Drake May? He's conquered the internet. It's aw shucks. It's not even a high school sweetheart. His wife's his middle school sweetheart. And if you look at like Brittany Mahomes' comments on anything she posts, it's like just hatred, vitriol, toxic internet. Drake May's wife somehow is the only person in sports where all the comments in her bake mix and her cookies are just like, I love your husband. I'll do anything. Can I have your cookie recipes? Just people fucking love her. They love Drake May. It's
not going to last.
It's not even toxic on the internet.
Yeah.
Liz, my wife, has discovered Drake May's wife and now follows her and consumes her content.
That's how I know she's won the fucking, that's how I know Drake May won the year.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. More importantly, who lost the year? This can be player or team.
I think the Colts dying on the Oregon Trail. The Colts wagon.
It's if you
died fording the river.
I agree. It's either the Colts or if you want to expand out, it's Belichick.
I think it has to be Belichick.
Yeah, it's Belichick.
Belichick. You know why? The Colts, we feel bad for it. Belichick's a punchline. Like Belichick literally is just the best coach in the NFL since Paul Brown, like at least. And now it's like we're gonna need 10 years to rehab that.
Yeah, it's tough. The Belichick thing went from greatest coach of all time. The NFL is so stupid for not hiring this guy, to everyone being like, oh, okay, I kind of get it.
Bill Belichick blew a 28-3 lead of his career.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
God damn it, Craig.
He was so close.
Yeah.
Run the ball.
Just needed one first down.
Yeah. Oh,
no, he's still got a good, like he'll still go down as the greatest coach of all time, but man, it's been rough.
But man, like yeah. that's
yeah.
the part of it now.
So that wraps things up. We did have one bonus category of the Stephen A. Smith Hottest Take Award of the year. Heifetz went back and compiled what he thought is it the best takes, the funniest takes?
I have kept track of these for the entire season, and I wrote down what I thought was the craziest thing each of us said on the show this year.
So this is like 10. These are 10 out of 10s on the crazy scale.
I think this is the single craziest thing each individual person said this year. Like if you said it to a group of people that don't know you, like you meet new people at a party and you said this, people would be like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
All right.
Like he's an idiot. Okay. All right. So the nominees for hottest take.
I don't like that it ended on you're an idiot. I was before that. I was like, oh, okay.
You're right. No, sorry. Not an idiot.
Like
crazy.
Good take.
Yeah.
You're great take.
You're a takesman.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Craig, the hottest takes anyone said this year. Craig saying I could throw for 28 yards in an NFL game.
I believe that.
It's like Craig saying he could go 2 for 5 in first 3-point range or whatever.
3 for 5.
I think Craig going 3 for 5 in an NBA game.
3 for 5.
Whatever percentage you want to put on that. I think it is 1,000 times more likely than Craig throwing for 28 yards in an NFL game.
No way.
There's no fucking chance.
No way.
The thing they don't tell you about a screen behind the line of scrimmage is you still have to throw it like 20 yards.
Heifetz, have you forgotten we talked about this all season? I can underhand shuffle pass the ball to a tight end, and he can get me 15 yards in one play. Do that 3 times.
You know what? I'm going to let DK. I'll let DK's silence speak volumes.
My whole point about the 3 for 5.
I love the 3 for 5 number. Where the fact that you came up with that is
the whole point.
Chef's kiss.
The whole point of 3 for 5 and 28 yards is that
3 for 5
is that the entire game plan is to get me to accomplish that goal. Like Steve Kerr would be coaching me so that I am open to hit 3 out of 5 corner threes, and Ben Johnson is scheming me to get it. Like his life depends on me getting 28 yards.
There's no way you'll do one touch pass, it'll get 13, and you'll lose 7 yards immediately. Like you're going to lose yardage. They're going to play up on you. There's no way.
I don't know. Then I just go back shoulder down the sideline. But all right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, go 1-on-1 like Blake Willis. You know that thing of what's that random guy who's like, I could strike out Timothy Chalamet. He'd have no chance. I'm starting at 98 miles upper deck right in his chin.
That's so great. Here it is. I would strike Timothy Chalamet out on 3 pitches. Slider outside. He feels like he's drowning. Curveball in the dirt. Of course he's chasing it. Ladybird sucked. Kill yourself. And bang, 97 inside corner. You're out. You were always out. You've been out since the day you were born. So good.
All right.
Feels like he's drowning.
You're drowning. The next,
of course, he's chasing it.
All right. Next nominee for craziest thing someone said on the show this year. DK said, "My dog is more athletic than Secretariat."
I stand by it.
I think that's
your
the
dog.
craziest thing.
My
Your
dog George, who's moderately athletic.
My dog is more athletic than Secretariat.
Look, man. Everyone's definition of athletic is a little different.
The most impressive and famous thoroughbred horse of all time.
Secretariat.
Carlos saying, I couldn't pick. I have both. Carlos saying, I hate the moment of Zen on YouTube TV.
That is an all-timer.
Fucking crazy.
Which
I hate the moment of Zen.
He's like,
I'm mad about it.
I'd rather see more commercials, is what he said. Carlos, I have to say, though, he's saying, on the top of the Guinness factory, I'm like getting beers, and it's like, do you want anything? He's like, yeah. Do you think they have Moscow mules?
This is in Dublin, Ireland.
Dublin.
In the Guinness factory. It's in the museum to Guinness.
He got
like,
a Moscow mule.
And I just looked at him. It was the first rude thing I've ever said to him. He was like, do you think they have Moscow mules? I was like, no.
They did.
I wish. Did they?
They had them.
That's
incredible.
Well,
Also, every time we do a baseball segment, we finish the show and we're talking about the episode. He goes, I just fucking hate baseball. Can we delete that?
Yeah.
What's the cut it?
Talk
about Ohtani. He's like, oh.
Yeah, it's like the best World Series of all time. He's like, I didn't like that.
Obviously there were a lot of moments for me, but the one I picked as the most craziest thing I said this year, I said I could build Stonehenge if I had 30 to 40 guys in 30 to 40 years.
30 to 40 guys. I've got my 30 or 40 guys in 30 to 40 years.
Feral hogs, yeah. 30 to 40 guys, 30 to 40 years, I'll build Stonehenge.
I love these arguments. Are so ridiculous.
I think it's you saying you watch Sopranos out of order.
I had that one. That's an honorable mention. Do you think that's better than Stonehenge? Me saying I watched Sopranos out of order? I also had my sock rant down here, but I don't think
he's watching it like it's Seinfeld.
Yeah, he's just tuning in like it's the fucking news. Yeah, I saw Sopranos. It was all right.
Yeah, I saw that episode. That was a good one.
I didn't love that episode. I didn't know what was going on. That's like Bill on the bottom of Sal. It's like he watched the entire season 5 of Stranger Things with his kids, and he had never seen an episode before. And he's like, "This show sucked. I have no idea what's going on."
Yeah, no shit. Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah, well, the 6th episode I ever watched was probably Pine Barrens. I'm like, so where is this interior?
What is
decorator?
this? Are they all,
Who are
always in the
these
woods?
guys?
Yeah.
Paulie, we just must like the outdoors. Oh my God.
Okay, so does that conclude it? I think that concludes
I think
it.
that's
We did it. All righty. What a year it's been. A successful first season of the Ringer Fantasy Football League, I would say. I got last. You guys got, what, 3rd and 4th?
Mm-hmm. Mal won.
Mal won.
Mallory
Chris
Rubin.
got
6 and
2nd. Yeah, the first place and last place team both went 6 and 8. That should tell you how.
And
this
the
fantasy
second place
season
team.
That says a lot about
First and
fantasy,
second
actually.
went 6 and 8, as did last. And then DK and I in 3rd and 4th went like 11 wins apiece.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who was with us along the way this fantasy season. Thank you to all of our producers. Thank you to Carlos and Kai and Cam and Austin and Ryan and everybody who contributed along the way. Thank you to Christian McCaffrey, our fantasy MVP. Thank you to JSN, who I fell in love with this year.
Drake May.
Thank you to Drake May, I guess. Thank you. Who else we thanking?
Thank you to everyone who emailed us. Email us at
Thank you.
ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com.
Mhm.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone in our Spotify wrap. Thank you for that. Everyone who follows us on Instagram, Ringer Fantasy Football, and everyone in the Discord, which the episode, the invite to the Discord's in the link. So thank you to everyone there too.
Thank you to Cub Buck, Jug Earp, Buzz Nutter, and Fish Brosmer for contributing this season. And most of all, thank you, Lauren.
Lauren!
Thank you, Guy Lombardo. I searched Auld Lang Syne, the New Year song, I don't know how to say that right. Anyway, he was the first guy that came up. I'm sure it's a lot of people have sang that.
Wait, his name's Guy Lombardo?
What? That's what I searched it on.
Should we
on
add him to the
Spotify.
best name of the year list?
It's like Moonlight. It's like, wait!
Guy Lombardo won best name.
Um,
Cool. What's the name of that song? Do we know?
Auld Lang Syne. I think it. I'm probably not
Scottish?
saying that correctly. But it's the New Year song, as you know it.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, guys.
Its title means old long since.
That's how Tom Brady talks.
Yeah.
Old long since.
Just words coming out.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.